all joining us. And I'm loving the energy. Okay, so I'll just do something on my audio. And we're live! Magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat. From my home and heart to yours, I am sending you love, humor, compassion, courage, vulnerability, tenacity, resilience, peace of mind, and even self-forgiveness. Okay? I am Joanna Marie Lazaro, co-owner and CEO of Lorus Enterprises, and it is my privilege to host this second, online event entitled Connecting 101, the Gem of Personal Development. You know what? Did you know that this event is for you, or this event is actually created for you? Okay, I think I'm just lagging a bit. I apologize for that because you know that we have the best internet connection in the whole wide world, right? But it's okay. So we've got this. The internet is going to be ready in a little while. All right. Okay, so as I was saying, we all know that here in the Philippines, we have the best internet connection in the whole wide world. Okay, so if ever something happens, like I get cut off or suddenly you lost me on your screen, it's okay. Just stay there because definitely I am coming back. And as I was saying a while ago, this event, Connecting 101, the Gem of Personal Development, is created for you. Like the Philippines and Lorus Enterprises is on a mission to support you on your quest to create meaningful connections, especially in this digital age. And personally, although I've started on my self-growth journey a little bit late, I was already 27 at that time. Investing on my personal development has actually given me priceless gems throughout the years. I achieved so much breakthroughs in my marriage, meaning my romantic relationship, and all the relationships I have, whether with my relatives, with my friends, with my clients, with my team, with my business and the community that I have. And even I actually have a lot of breakthroughs even in my business. And now that I am leading and building my team. And we all know that personal development is actually very important because even the most successful people in the world always invest time to work on themselves. The likes of Oprah, my favorite, and Warren Buffett, Jim Rohn, even if they have millions and billions of dollars, they continue to invest on their own self-growth and learning. That's why tonight we have invited once again. You can expect this, guys. We have invited 3 of the best Filipino game changers in the area of personal development here in our country to share their experiences and insights to you. Through them and through this mini event or this talk show event that would last from 7 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. tonight, we aim to help you achieve personal growth, unshakable confidence, total transformation, and genuine relationships. Online, especially in the real world. Do you like that? Let me know in the comment section if you're liking what you're hearing so far. Hi, good evening, everyone. Wow, the comment section is on fire, and thank you so much. I'm loving this energy. You guys are empowering me and energizing me to really host this fantabulous event for you. Okay, I don't think I could read everything, but let me just quickly say hi to Belle, Katrina, Grace, Princess, Michelle, Maricel. Okay. Hello. There's a Facebook user. I couldn't read the name. Please give a little while. I'm going to share some of our house rules. Joyce, of course, my Lord's family. My husband. Hello to you, Han. Michael, Tetley, Grace, Che, okay, Cam. Hi, Cam. Maricel Leia, hello sis. Okay, another game changer. Bel Aka, Jagonob, Cherry, Bian Marquez, Chiselle. Hi Angie, of course, my beautiful Atsi. Kai Chavez, Jeneline, Leslie. Leslie, hi, Leslie. Michelle Mimay, Mar. Okay, Maricel, Marjorie, Lailani, Belle, Julie. Hello to all of you and maraming salamat po. Okay, before I proceed, please allow me to share some of our house rules tonight, okay? A little while there was a message that I couldn't read because you haven't given StreamYard the permission to display your name. So please allow StreamYard to share your name so that I could read it, or at the same time I could address you by your beautiful name. So that would be the first house rule. Second house rule, and you're already doing it, guys. Engage via the comment section. Yes, we are in this online world, and the only opportunity for us to connect with one another is through the comment section. So please continue sending us your love, your energy and positivity tonight. Send us any of your aha moments, any takeaways or breakthroughs that you picked up from our speakers tonight. Feel free to put them in the comment section. Another is that, and just stay. Yes, I've already mentioned it a while ago. Just stay if we get lost due to internet connection, because definitely we are coming back right away. And please stay all throughout the show up to the last second. Why? Because we prepare two games for you tonight that would allow you to get to either win 500 worth of gems, which is equivalent to 500 pesos, and 1,000 gems equivalent to 1,000 pesos. And the most important of all, forget everything or every house rule that I've shared to you, because this is the most important. Have fun, because as I mentioned earlier, this event is created for you. All right. So are you ready to hear or know what would be our first gem game? Are you ready? Okay. I believe we have a lot of Lycans in the show tonight, and I welcome all of you. Thank you so much. So here's our first gem game. This gem game is for your top 3 takeaways. And here's the mechanics, guys. You have to follow these accounts on Laika. If you don't have a Laika account yet, this is the perfect time for you to create one. And as soon as you have created your Laika account, you have to follow these accounts at Loros PH, at Bam Santiago 88, at Ezekiel Vicente, at Coach Andrea, and at Joanna Marie _Marie_ Lazaro. And once you follow them, please go to the account or to the handle of Lorus Enterprises or Lorus PH. Look for the picture with the word My Top 3 Takeaways from Connecting 101 Part 2 event. It would be on the top. Okay, it will be on the very first picture that you are going to see, because that is the latest post that we are going to have. So you just have to look for that poster, and in the comment section, type in my top 3 takeaways from the Connecting 101 Part 2 event are. All right? And you have until 11:59 p.m. tonight to post your top 3 takeaways. And on Monday, June 14th at 7 p.m., we will be announcing 10 winners of 500 Laika gems. Okay? That would be on Monday, but you have until tonight only to post your answer to the question or to the statement, my top 3 takeaways from Connecting 101 Part 2 event. Got it? Can you let me know in the comment section? Can you type in, got it? Let me see in the comment section. I'm sure you got it. right? Okay. So now, remember guys, for you to win, you have to provide the best three takeaways, okay? Because we will be choosing only 10. So make your entry worth so that you can be one of the lucky winners. Okay. Now, I'm sure you're ready. I'm sure you're so excited to welcome and to learn from our top three coaches or top three game changers tonight. And I'm sure you guys, you're ready with your pen and paper. Are you sure you are? Because I am. Okay. And I have a very big notebook to write down everything that I'm going to learn from them. So I've turned it into a blank page. Make sure you're going to do that as well. Go get your journal, go get your pens. So I'm going to share to you. I have different pens in me because I love writing in different colors. I learned from my mentor once that it helps activate your creative brains. When you are writing, you're activating your left brain, your logical brain, and when you are writing in different colors, you allow your creative brain or your right brain to be activated as well. So that's something that you might want to do while we are doing Connecting 101. Okay. So now I think we're ready to call them in or introduce. I'm ready to call them in and introduce them to you. I apologize if I keep on saying we because there's another event here in Laurus Enterprises wherein I am co-hosting it with my business mentor and my business partner and also the K-pop chairman of Laurus Enterprises, Mr. Jerome San. He's also in Laika, guys. So if you want, you can follow his account also. And later on, I'll be sharing the account of Jerome San to you. Okay. So our first guest for tonight, he has been working as a personal growth facilitator for more than a decade. His transformative life programs have been translated and run in countries like Mongolia, Thailand, and Cambodia. This means, guys, other than the Philippines. Wow, right? So he helps people shift from a mindset of pain, luck, and suffering to a mindset of love, joy, and inspiration. Please welcome our first game changer tonight, Coach Bam Santiago.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Joanna, and thank you for having me. Magandang gabi sa lahat ng nanonood. To all the Lycans watching, hello. Thanks for following here. Thanks for watching. Hi to everyone saying hi. Of course, everyone here on Facebook as well. Thanks for having me, Joanna. I'm excited tonight.
Yes, I am so excited too, Coach Bam. All right. So I'll make Chica to you in a little while, but allow me to call in our second game changer for tonight, our second guest. And sasabihin ko sana that she's the only rose among the thorns. So anong tawag sa akin? Parang mali yata yung naisip ko na yun. Anyway, so our second game changer, her purpose is to illuminate the world by igniting the hearts of everyone she reaches. She knows that each person can lighten up the world in their own unique way. So it is her mission as the divine feminine coach. Wow, I love that. To help unleash that powerful light that's already within us so we can create our life's masterpiece with love, joy, and greatness. Let us all welcome her in, Master or Coach Andrea Alvarado.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. Thank you for that introduction, Master Joanna. And we are both beautiful roses here. And hello, also, Coach Bam. Hello to all of our viewers on Facebook. And hello, Lycans as well. So excited to be here with you tonight.
Yes, it's so funny, no? I forgot that I'm also a rose.
Yes. First, love yourself.
Yeah, I don't know. All right. So welcome. So I'll meet Chico with you again, Coach Andrea or Master Andrea in a little while. But for now, let's complete the gang. Let's complete the ensemble by calling our third game changer for tonight. He helps people craft and live in unshakable confidence in life. Oh, I love that. I think this is everybody's goal to have an unshakable confidence in life, right? Because for him, people who know and live their core are unshakable in their level of self confidence and are not easily distracted by all the noise in the world. Let's welcome him in, Ezekiel Vicente.
Pleasant evening to everybody. That was like I have to hand to you. Like your way of introducing people is amazing. It's like that energy level. I don't know how I could possibly generate that level of energy, but I'm gonna try. You're setting the bar pretty high. And for everybody who's watching, thanks for having me. I'm not exactly in the Philippines, but I'm very happy to be here and contributing in my own way. And hi, lovely people.
And you are lovely and we love your energy, Ezekiel. And thank you so much. I appreciate it. I believe the energy that's emanating from me right now is actually coming from the three of you, knowing that I'm going to talk to, wow, your level of intellect, your level of wisdom, and all the experiences you gained through the years, guys, they're exemplary. So I believe that's where my energy is coming from. And of course, from everybody in the comment section.
Hi,
Oh
everyone.
my gosh! Our comment section is on fire, right? Maraming salamat po. And I believe, guys, because you have huge followings on your Facebook or other social media accounts, especially in Laika, and you brought them here. So I think that's the reason. That's why it's firing up. And because of that, I believe we're ready to get started with our first question. By the way, not only with the Manifest Master Inspire, I have this tradition set in all my live shows. And I hope you're ready with this. I always prepare, Coach Andre, Master Andrea, you're already laughing, you know this?
I know, I'm excited for this one.
I already prepare. Because this is a lucky day for me. I believe I prepared 8,888 questions. So are you ready for that, guys? Ezekiel, Bam, and Master Andrea?
Yes, let's do it. Let's do it.
Ezekiel was looking at me. What are you?
I was gonna go like I'm not exactly sure what I got myself into, but I'm very happy that I don't have plans on a Friday. This is great.
Yes, that's why I told you as we start, go have your toilet break, your water break, and prepare your dinner because you are here for the whole night until tomorrow morning.
That's how we roll. All night
That's how we
learning.
roll. That's how we do it differently here, Ezekiel, in Laura's Enterprises. And that's the baptism of fire for you. Welcome to Laura's Enterprises.
Great. I'm prepared to be burned. Let's go.
All right. Let's get started. And I'm sure all our online audience are so excited to start learning from you, beautiful souls. So allow me to ask you the very first question. And I'm so curious also. I really want to hear the story from you guys, okay? All of you are into coaching and empowering individuals to bring out their light so that they'll be able to share their lights to others too. Can you share to us a brief background about yourself and what made you realize that coaching is your calling? Maybe we can start with the beautiful Master Andrea.
Okay, sure. So my journey with coaching is actually quite interesting. I started out as an international school teacher, but I felt like there was something missing. And about 2 years ago, I was going through this tower moment, right? Where like I'm just questioning everything about my life, questioning about why my relationships are not working out. Why do I feel so unhappy? Like something is missing, and I keep traveling the world trying to find that missing thing. And then one day, one of my friends came up to me. She was going through a really tough time. She lost both of her parents that year. She's an only child, and she wouldn't go to a professional. She said that she only trusted me. And I just felt so bad because I didn't know how to help her, right? So I was saying all of these things, but I didn't know how to help her move forward. So I said, okay, I think I want to be a life coach. Ganun lang kadali. I just want to help a friend, and I want to
Yeah.
equip myself, right? I want to equip myself to have that skill, to have that knowledge to be able to help her, because I don't ever want to be put in a position where I don't know what to do. Um, so I said, okay, I'll be a life coach. And then I was swiping through a dating app, and so there was this guy that showed up, and it said life coach. I was like, okay, I gotta connect with this guy, right? Like, this is a sign from the universe. So
Dating app?
sorry.
It's a dating app?
Yeah, it was a dating app. Do you guys know
Oh,
Bumble?
wow.
So I was swiping through Bumble and I met this guy. Bam knows this guy. So we went on a date, and so we got to talking about life. We talked about him being a life coach, and that's it. Everything just fell in place from there. And when I found out, but when I was going through the program, I actually found out that I had so much in myself that I also wanted to address first. So that's what happened, right? So I worked on myself a lot, and my friend saw the changes, and she's like, okay, I think I'm ready now to move forward, and I'm ready to do what you've been doing. So she also went into all these self-discovery workshops. She went into all these self-development workshops. And I think that's all attributed to the energy that you radiate when you start working on yourself as well. So yeah, last year during the pandemic, it was really my life coach who helped me out of my darkness. And that, for me, that sealed the deal for me. And that was like a sign that this is what I want to do. This is what I want to leave in this world. And this is what my legacy is going to be.
I love that. So it's like a eureka moment for you, Andrea, right?
Yeah.
Like light bulb moment. Okay, my friend needs some help, and I want to do this. I want to support her. You know what? A while ago, earlier today, I was listening to an audio, or no, it's a video because it was in YouTube, of Jim Ron, and he was talking about personal development. Jim Ron is one of those indirect mentors that I have. I really listen to him a lot. And I remember what he said there from his mentor when he was 25 or 26 years old, Shof. This is what Shof told him before. What you have at the moment, you attracted by the person you become. And a while ago, you were talking about this darkness, that you met somebody who allowed you or helped you get out of that darkness. For the benefit of the part of our online audience, Coach Andrea, can you please share to us a little bit of what that darkness is about, or
Sure.
what the darkness really is, so that maybe one of them is actually on the same scenario as you, but then they don't know that it's actually darkness, and they're looking for a solution right now, but maybe probably through your story they would know, okay, so this is the darkness pala, and I have an opportunity to get out now.
Yes. I love what you said there, Master Joanna, because yeah, you can be in a place of darkness and not even realize that that's what it is. For me, it was a continuous journey, actually. It really started out with me feeling really unfulfilled, me feeling like this is not the right job for me feeling like this is, I'm not doing it's me realizing the toxic behavior that I've been expressing towards the others around me. I was a very angry woman before I started working on myself. I was just so frustrated all the time, and I would get so mad, like in the flick of a button, right? And then, so that for me was an indication that I don't want to live my life like this. I don't want to keep living my days feeling this way, like there's something out there that's greater, something out there that's meant for me, and I don't know what it is, right? So that for me fueled my desire to discover more about myself, discover more about what else is out there in the world. And last year during the pandemic, I feel like that pandemic was really, the purpose of it was really for us to just take it slow, take a pause and reevaluate our lives, reevaluate the way we see ourselves. and reevaluate what we base our worthiness on. A lot of us are walking around, and I know this now working with so many coaches from different countries, right? I know this now that it's not just a cultural thing, it's a worldwide thing, that we are walking around feeling like we are not good enough. And that for me was so powerful that it went into this really dark space where there was a time in the pandemic where I didn't move for a week, right? Because I was like, what am I contributing here? But because my life coach was there, he reminded me of all of the gifts that I have. And because he made me aware of what else I can do, I was able to connect the dots and do something about this life, right? Do something about this unworthiness. And when you, like you were saying, Miss Joanna, when you decide for yourself that you want better, you start to attract better. When you decide for yourself that this is not how you are going to continue living, opportunities will come to you to express more of your greatness, to express more of your love and more of your joy. And that's exactly what happened to me last year when, I decided that this is not going to be how it is forever. These opportunities to sing for One Bayanihan, for example, were presented to me. I got connected to people who helped me become a life coach, who helped me, connect to people who I could help. So that's how. That was my dark period. That was my dark side.
And thank you. Thank you for sharing that, Coach Master. I'm juggling between coach and master.
Yes, fine.
We have a personal, we chatted, we have personal communication, Andrea and I, and we call each other master. It's all started with Master Mrs. H, my loves Clara, going to Master JP, who is on the audience right now. Hello, Master JP, Master Clara. Hello to both of you.
Hi, guys.
So thank you for sharing, Master Clara. And I think it's to sum it up, it's like when you don't feel you don't have the enthusiasm anymore. It's like you're going through life like a roller coaster. It feels like you're just waking up and going back to bed, that nothing happened and nothing sparks joy in you anymore. That could be a trigger for you that, hey, maybe this is the darkness for you. And thank you so much for giving us a really good insight with regard to the darkness that you went to. I believe a lot of our online audience right now, they're really relating with you. Some of them are agreeing and some of them are saying the same thing. Okay. So now moving to let me move to Bam, Coach Bam Santiago. Yeah. Can you please tell us about your journey, how you started, and at the same time, was coaching a calling for you, or is it like a eureka moment too?
Yeah, so for me, my story is very different from Coach Andrea. So, ang nangyari naman sa akin, so I was on this dating app one time. Dala ko lang. It's totally different. That didn't happen to me. Sorry, wrong life. That's for another life. Sorry, no. I was not on a dating app. For me, I'll give you the short version sa lahat din ng nanonood. The short version is, I think I went through so much pain in relationships. Meaning I went through what a lot of people are posting. I'm looking at the messages, not good enough, very low self-esteem, not liking yourself. I also went through my own version of the darkness that Andrea was speaking about. Ang sarap, di ba? I'm addressing the viewers to go through darkness. It's like one of the best things to go through kasi you're depressed, you don't want to go out. It seems like whatever prayer you're getting, hindi gumagaling yung sitwasyon mo, it's not getting better. Struggling also with my health. I think a huge struggle for me was also finances, creating money, creating wealth. But slowly but surely, because there were people who cared enough to sort of like tell me, hey, there's this thing called personal development. Why, from my mom to my aunties to other people, they said, why not take a look at this? It might help you in your life. And when I was ready and open enough to, start hearing these messages, little by little, I started creating and seeing that change in my own life. So unti-unti, it was not like a magic wand, like bago bigla yung buhay ko, but it was putting in the work. There was a lot of work. Why do I say work? Because there's a lot of belief systems that will go against you and wanting to create a different life experience. There will be, you say you want to get healthier, you say you want to have better relationships, and you'll always hear this little voice behind you saying, hindi mo kaya, sino ka, naalala mo ba yung past mo, gaano ka kadumi, gaano ka kapangit, and it's really gonna pull you down. So it takes work, but I put in the work, and what I noticed was as I was putting in the work, life was starting to change for me. It was starting to get better. Instead of always being angry, fearful, anxious, worried, I started experiencing something. Now there's more love. Now there's more peace. Now there's more joy. So it was just basically saying, like, what do I want more of? I want more of the good stuff. Not that na mawawala yung, all the challenges, but you're experiencing, ang tawag ko dyan, the 90-10 principle, which is not 90% struggle, but now it's flipped. It's sort of like 90% you're enjoying life, and 10% you'll still be struggling. I'm not sure about the ratios, but more or less it's like that. And then now that I've discovered it, so now I wanna tell people about it, that you don't have to be a victim of the life you're experiencing, especially if the life that you're experiencing is harming you and hurting you, not just you, but people around you. So then definitely, Joanna, it was a calling, because out of the blue, in one of our mastermind sessions with my auntie and some friends, it just came to me, become a motivational speaker. I wrote it down on my notebook. So I go, how, I was already in my 30s. I have no experience speaking, but I wrote it down and I put in the work, and the rest is history. So that's my short story.
Thank you so much, Bob. That was really, really quick. But you know what? What I love with what you said is that you really showed us or proved to us that there are two ways to really look at the challenges that we are going through. You can look at them as something that's going to bring you down, that's going to make you unhappy, or you can look at it as an opportunity for you to become better, right? Sabi nga ni again, Jimron, kasi I was listening to him again. Shops told him, don't wish that you have a better life, just wish that you are a better person. And the way that you can do that is through your personal development. Invest in yourself first. Invest in your personal development, invest in your self growth, and then you can make a fortune. You can invest in your work, and whatever that you do, you can make a living. But it's entirely different when you start investing on your own self. That's where fortune comes in. And thank you so much, Coach Bam. By the way, for our audience, sometimes I just call him Bam because whenever we talk, we just call each other first name basis. But whenever we're online, I love to call him Coach Bam. I want to address him that way. I don't know, Coach Bam, bakit nga ba parang bigla nagkakaroon ng switching on you?
I don't know. I love being called by my first name also. So, pwede mo din akong tawaging master if you want. I'm just joking. I just love this conversation. Yeah.
I'm switching. Oh, by the way, what's the dating app that you were referring to? Huh?
Hers was Bumble. Mine was Bumble. Bumble. So it's my own dating app.
Created by you. So for all single and ready to mingle, go to Santiago. You might find out. This is
Oh
just
my gosh. What's this turning into?
people are going to message you, Bambay. Can I join your your dating app, please?
Yeah, you might meet people like Andrea and Zeke, so you never know.
Oh,
Yeah.
hey, Bam. Baka this is the universe telling you na, hey, you have a new career. You can develop a dating app. And then you're going to connect people who are growth-minded, who are on a different level, who are established on their careers and jobs probably, now they're ready to start focusing on their relationship, on romantic relationships.
Wow.
Who knows? Right?
I love
Sounds good.
that. I totally sign up for that.
That's gonna be a booming industry within the next 5 years. I'll tell you
Yeah,
guys.
for
Yeah.
sure.
Tama.
It is. So, Ezekiel, I want to ask you, on top of the question, how did you start? How did you realize that coaching is your calling, would you sign up for the dating app of Santiago if ever it's available? So that would be three questions for you, Ezekiel.
Ah, I think the last question, I was like, Bam, we gotta talk about this. We
We
gotta
haven't
talk about
processed this yet.
we gotta talk about we gotta talk about what your filter criteria is before I say yes or no to that. All right, let's other questions like how did I become? So here's the thing: I'm not a fan of being called a coach because coach by itself has an industry definition. And by that nature, I would say that I'm not exactly fitting in that category. So my career background has a lot to do with leadership since I was a national athlete at some point when I was like a little kid. Leadership roles, front, right, and center from young kid all the way until I've taken various C-level roles in various companies, and the last one being chief HR and COO of Mind Valley before I left to work on like go off on my own. But the thing is, for me, it was never about coaching. For me, it's about leadership. What I noticed was that in the best people that I've ever worked with or people that I've hired and interviewed over like more than 1,000 people that I've done that for in my career, the people who are the best performing or top level leaders are people who have a ton of alignment with regards to what they want in their life and who they are and what career they're pursuing. So you're looking at a variety of factors to see that, okay, you genuinely are good at these things because that's who you are as a person. You want to go in this direction. And at the same time, this is the career that you're in. When you have people who have that level of confidence in themselves, it's just infectious. It's like being in a war zone and then you have somebody who's acting like, guys, we got this. Like, I know what I'm doing. And you end up naturally following them. So for me, my obsession was always about leadership. And that's when I saw that the key thing that separates mediocre performers to top level leaders, and I'm not just referring to organization, I'm also referring to people who just genuinely are killing it in whatever and however they choose to live their life, is when they have that sense of clarity of like who I am and how does this fit in terms of how I'm choosing to live my life. And that's really strong. And the understanding of, oh, the thing that made me so effective as a leader was the fact that I was really good at bringing that out in people. It's like I could look at somebody and say, okay, who is this person? And is this the right role that brings out the best in you? And I was notorious for talking to people inside companies or even the companies that I was part of, where I just like, dude, you're really in the wrong role. Or this company is not going to help you grow to where you could possibly be because your interests are elsewhere. And I would actively bring them or toss them to other companies so that they could live and fulfill themselves there. And the people were telling me like, you're crazy. You're letting go of your employees. Like, no. I'm letting go of somebody so that they can pursue a life that makes sense to them. And they will be forever grateful for it. And they'll be allies in my life forever. It all comes back to you anyway. And that's where the motivation was coming from. And I think in the past couple of years, I realized why am I so good at doing these things? It's that when I was a kid, I was living in Quezon City during that time. It's like more than almost 30 years ago when I was a kid. I was the youngest of a lot of cousins. So being the youngest, everybody would play games like Tumbang Preso or whatever. Did I say that right? It's like that's a correct game.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it. And because you're so young, nobody wants to play with you. So I got really good at convincing the adults to take me seriously, to play with me. And I also got very good at playing, like reading books and reading really, really interesting characters in life. I was like, okay, I'm reading storybooks, Chronicles of Narnia, fiction. And I was really obsessed with, oh, these are great characters. Like, because I can't play with my cousins, then at least I can play in my mind as if I'm these characters. And then you combine that with high social skills. When I started going to playgrounds when I was 4 years old onwards, I naturally became the kid who was like, oh, we're in the playground and I see 5 kids who are not playing because they don't know who the character is or how to play. And I'll be like, okay, come here. Like, what do you like doing? And I would help to create like a character so that they can play with the other kids. So that was just the same thing that I was doing all throughout my life. My leadership role was like that. The way I help people figure out who they are and deal with their problems in life is like that. I just look at who people are and I bring out more of that in every part of your life. What are your hobbies? How are you supposed to have your relationships? What career you should be in, and how do you live your life every single day? That's just my modus operandi. So that's my whole gang. I don't necessarily think that's coaching per se as much as it is. I just don't like seeing people live very fake lives. So I'd rather just bring that out in people.
Oh, that's so interesting because, yeah, we're living in a world where sometimes it's so hard to really determine who is authentic and who is just faking it. And suddenly, because of this pandemic, right? A lot of people suddenly become coaches, suddenly become speakers, suddenly become experts of something. Yeah, did you notice that also? But you know what, Zeke? I totally agree with with everything that you've said because for me, clarity is the key. And the reason people do not get what they want because in the very first place they don't know what they want. So that's why at the very start, before you decide on something, think, what is this for me and who do I want to become? Also, you when you were speaking about kicking out people, making them quit their job, I remember because you're familiar with Gallup
Oh yeah,
strengths test.
yeah.
Yeah, so it's similar to that, right? When you determine your top strengths, that's when you can really operate at your 100 best rather than focusing on what you are weak at. Like, for example, me, I'm so weak. I'm not really good in math. So I give up trying to be best in math because I'm just wasting a lot of time for that. So I just focus now on what am I really good at or the natural talents and skills that I have. So now I'm capitalizing on that. So interesting story, guys. So all our viewers, I hope this is just the first question. So we're down with 8,887 questions, but you've already picked up a lot from these three people. Okay. I hope you've written down a lot of things because in our comment section, we actually have our team. Hello to you, Bo. We call him our scribe, and he's trying to pick up everything that you are saying, guys, and putting them in the comment section so that our friends here later on, when they review this live or review their notes, they can just copy and paste it and, apply everything that they learned from the three of you. So now I want us to move forward with another question because we already know that you. Oh, by the way, Zeke, I remember. Where is that book?
Wait,
When you
should
mentioned about picking
I
out
run now?
people, this one.
Oh yeah,
I have just started reading this, and
yeah.
my business mentor and business partner Jerome San mentioned to me that on the last part there was a Zeke that Vision referred to. Is
Yeah.
that you?
Yes, that's me. So
Wow.
one of the examples that Vishen was talking about there in terms of how to run teams, how they run their meetings, and also in general, like his own development as a CEO. Like, especially, I mean, you know this. You're a CEO. You have your own blind spots, and sometimes when things are intense, you don't see what's going on. Like I was that mirror for him and the leadership team for a very long time. So a lot of the examples that were put in that book has my hand on it, I guess.
Wow. So
But
nice. I hope you're in the Philippines so that I could have you sign this. Oh, by the way, Zek, I'm not sure if you know, Laurus Enterprises is the partner of Mind Valley here. We're
yeah,
actually
I'm aware of
promoting
that.
Mind Valley membership. Oh, thank you. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm friends with Danny and a lot, and we're supposed to bring Vision Lakiani last year, but it didn't push through. But we're just waiting for everything to calm and be safe, and definitely Vision is coming to the Philippines together with Marisa Pier. So
Yeah,
that's happening real soon.
he's a very dear friend. Like we worked together for 9 years, and even though I'm not part of the company anymore, I'm still an advisor, consultant for them. It's just that I expanded myself, so I'm not just working on Mindvat. I'm working on other companies because other companies and CEOs need that support too. You know,
True.
and why limit it in one place?
True.
Besides, I
As
hired a
they
really,
say.
really good person to take over my job anyway, who's much better at me at it. So it's like, yeah, you go do that. Let me do something else.
Yeah.
Yes, because as they say at the end of the day, a coach needs to be coached, a mentor needs to be mentored, a teacher needs to be reminded. Ano ba? Ano ba that rhymes with ano? With a teacher to be taught? Parang pangit, no? But something to that effect. Parang okay. Anyway, so moving to my second question for you guys. So that is just, I remember because I have this book. I'm just on chapter one. I'm reading about the soul print. Yes, Bam, you want to share something?
No, I was just gonna say. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I was gonna say. I mean, there's the clue right there. It's a book by Vishen. He's talking about the Buddha and the badass. So isipin mo na lang sino sa kanila ni Ezekiel yung Buddha and who's the badass. So what's the question?
Let's
What's
ask
the-
Ezekiel.
I was gonna go like, I'm not gonna argue with you there.
Basta ako, like I know who the badass is.
Yeah, he was like fire and wind, and I was like earth and water
Oh,
inside.
there you go.
There you go. Okay, so your question is answered, Bam. It's up to you. Okay.
There you go.
Nice. Thank you. But this is a really nice book. I'm learning a lot. And this was recommended to me by my friend Jerome. He's also my mentor in real life, as in he taught me a lot in business and in life. And he told me, sis, we can use all the secrets that Vision shared here in rebuilding our team. Because right now, we don't have a team yet, solid team once again because of the pandemic, but definitely we're building up our team once again. Although we have few people working with us. So yeah, I really want to learn this and incorporate everything that I'm going to learn from this book. So guys, by the way, we're not selling this, okay? It's just that I love this is my tagline. I care, that's why I share. So whenever you hear me talk about something and I'm so passionate about it, it's because something sparked in me, something beautiful changed in me. And I want to share it to people so that hopefully they can have the same spark and changes in their lives too. That's why when I talk about something, even if it's just a food or a movie, I always talk like this. Okay. So, but I'm not selling this. Okay. You can go to any bookstore and go buy yourself a copy. All right. So my next question for you guys is, because we know that you heavily invested on your personal growth and professional development at the same time, may we ask, or can you share to us, where is this hunger coming from? And can you share to us how it helped you personally? Let's start with Bam.
Where the hunger is coming from?
Yes.
Sa akin, from being tired of the suffering, being tired of going through the challenges, waking up with challenges, going through the day with challenges, just before going to bed, still challenges. So the hunger for me to continue growing, it just stems from that. Parang you can the metaphor here is, I like what James Allen shares in As a Man Thinketh. It's like your mind is like a garden, and it's either you tend it or it's going to grow weeds. And when it grows weeds, there's going to be consequences to that. So, but whether you tend it or not, something's gonna happen to it, right? So once I think I realized that, I just made a choice. Like I want to tend this garden, and I want to make sure that I am, nurturing it, and now talking about my mind, that I'm feeding it something that is helpful and useful, not just for me, but something that I can use. It's cliche, but as I'm giving value to myself, I'm also able to add value to other people. Why? Because I think it's just it makes life more worthwhile. So that's where the hunger is, because I experienced ko na din, Joanna, being in the comfort zone, being stagnant and stuck, but it's not providing value for me or for anyone. So I fast forward to the end of life. I look back like, gosh, if I stayed the same way, then what was that life all about? It's not to be hard on myself, but it was like, it's a gift. That's how I see it. That's just the
Yes.
metaphor that I have. It's a gift, and what am I using with this time, the talents, the energy? So that's what drives me every single day.
I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that, Bam. My add-on question for you, Bam, is with all the trainings or everything that you ano ba, parang bought for yourself or did for yourself, what do you consider is your most valuable investment when you are in the process of developing yourself?
Oh well, yeah. Well, what pops up in my head is this: spending time with people. I don't think that can be replaced by any book or any course or any training. Spending time with
Mhm.
people and learning how to listen. Kung paano makinig sa story ng tao, sa mga nangyayari sa tao. I think that was the most
Mhm.
invaluable, lesson for me, because once you are immersed with people and you are with them, it's not just a concept that you think about. It's not just something that you read in a book, but you're actually experiencing what the pain is, what the struggle is, what the hardship is. Of course, it creates, hopefully, depende sa tao, it creates more awareness and compassion and empathy for people. So it just
Mhm.
helps you become more effective when you're working with them. So sa akin yun, nothing beats that, to be able to learn to listen and to discern and to feel what's happening around you. I think that is the most important thing for me.
Correct. Yes, and time is the most valuable asset or the priceless gem one can ever give to someone, right? Because we only have 24 hours. All of us are. But when you spend a little, even kahit nga 1 second lang na parang you just say hi, pap ka lang ng hi to someone else, it already brightens someone's life eh. 'Di ba? So, hindi mo maiaalis kung ano yung joy that you can actually bring to other people. So, Ezekiel, the question is for you. What do you think, or where is the hunger coming from? And how it helped you personally? And also, what would you consider your most valuable investment when you are in the process of developing yourself?
Okay, so I'm going to talk about this from the perspective of why I think investing in your development as a human being is incredibly important. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
People don't realize that the cost of blowing up a building using dynamite was very expensive just 50, 60 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But nowadays, any kid with like less than what, $300 or so can make a drone, like a flying drone, buy it from a store, go
Oh,
on
yes.
YouTube, download and figure out how to make a chemical bomb and fly it to the next building and blow up their neighbor just because they don't agree with their neighbor or because their neighbor is of a different color, a different race, different
Mm-hmm.
mindset, or they're just too insecure. Maybe like they had a fight and they don't know how to deal with it. You're putting
Mm-hmm.
that much power in the hands of the everyday person all of a sudden. And the only difference between whether or not a singular person will use that power for good or for evil is the level of their own development as a human being. Like
Mm-hmm.
we faced a really crazy thing in the 1980s when the internet was like came in the 1990 1980s when internet exploded. It's like technology dropped price wise and accelerated development wise, and you're putting so much power in the hands of every single individual. And that's the reason why a lot of people can damage other people very very easily online. Like, do you remember like what 20 years ago when there was no Facebook, none of these things? How would you insult somebody? You're going to the playground, you tell somebody, oh, you're ugly or whatever. Now what
Yeah.
do? You go on Facebook, you go on Instagram, and you bully the shit out of somebody, and then everybody chimes in, and before you know it, that person's
Mm.
entire character is completely destroyed.
That's right.
You have
Yeah.
that much power now, even in the hands of a 12, 13, maybe even younger. So if
Mm-hmm.
you are not pro some form of personal development, you are literally putting weapons in the hands, like there's weapons in the hands of every single person now for a very cheap price. So that's why I'm of the opinion that the only thing that's going to prevent humanity from killing each other, like what we're seeing now in terms of how people are smashing each other online and hating on each other online, is just the degree of how much they've developed themselves as individuals. And that's the main
Yes.
driver for me. I think this is going to save the future of humanity if you focus on it.
That's so true. And I love how you shared it. Diba nakakalungkot right now? We're seeing it every minute when you go to your feed. Yeah, all this toxicity, all this negativity, yeah, it can be changed when
There's
we
a
are developing our mind. Being with the people who supports you in your growth, making you harness all the positivity that you have inside you, so that you can share it inwardly. So parang it's more like what you have inside your inner world versus your outer world,
Yeah,
right?
you
That's
give
what we
anybody
learn.
you give anybody power. It's like so I'm a martial artist, and
Mm,
if you know how to fight, if you want to be a bully, martial arts will help you. If you want to be a good
mm.
person, martial arts will help you. It's just a question of what are you going to do with it. and,
Yes.
and and the question of what you're going to do with it, is that's the realm of why investing in your own development as a person is extremely important, not just for you but for everybody else.
Yes, you're looking at it on the area of intention. At
Yeah.
the end of the day, what is your intention for wanting or for doing something in
Yeah,
your
and if you
life?
want to be more concrete about that, obviously intention is driven by inner motives, right? So if you're
Yes,
operating from a very insecure place, or as like Bam loves to like it's really knee deep in, like, with people who are really in a state of misery, and misery loves company. They'll just
company.
infect other people. So
Yes,
you're looking at that, like, so solve your own misery before you hurt somebody else. That's basically what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
true.
yeah.
Yes, yes, Bam, you want to add something?
No, ang ganda na nung sinabi ni Ezekiel, and there's a lot of viewers watching kasi and commenting. There's a super valuable lesson there sa mga nanonood and saying, yeah, we like what you guys are saying, pero ito nangyayari sa buhay ko. The main point that we're I think all in agreement to say here is, you don't have to continue staying a victim where you are, right? But it's not going to be easy, but at least you can project. If you do not create change where you are today, what's going to happen for you the next 10, 20 years of your life? You're going to be the same. And like Zeke said, you're going to continue creating pain for yourself and other people. So it's just,
Yes,
I don't mean to oversimplify it, say it's just a choice. Because a lot of people, it's your mindset, it's your beliefs, it's your programming that's against you. Sabi nga nila, ang hirap-hirap. But that's why we're doing programs, sessions like this, to tell people, like,
yes.
we've gone through shit. Ang dami din namin pinagdaanan na
True.
crap and
It's
dark. I
actually
mean,
not
Yeah.
really good to be a good
all of
person.
us. It's like,
Yeah,
here we
you
are.
only fix
We're
them.
trying.
Yes, true. At the end of the day, sabi nga nila in terms, halimbawa, parang if you want to become rich, parang being poor is hard, being rich is hard, but at the end of the day, choose your hard,
Choose your
right? Because there's no easy way in achieving something. If you want to be great, you really have to undergo so much pain, challenges, all of these things. Parang diamond in the rough, right? Putting yourself in that kind of pressure so that your brilliance would eventually show. So Coach Andrea or Master Andrea, nalito na talaga. Master Andrea, the question for you is the same. Where is the hunger coming from? And what is your biggest, or parang what would you consider your most valuable investment, and how it helped you personally too?
Okay, so I'll try to keep my answer brief because
Sure.
I resonate so much with what Coach Ezekiel and Coach Bam said as well. Initially, I wanted to go on a self-development journey because I was just really frustrated and I was just really exhausted with how I was living my life. Right. So if that resonates with you, like what Coach Bam says, you don't have to stay that way. Um,
Mm.
and when I finally found who I really am, when I finally found the values that really make up my spirit and my soul, the hunger became a desire to bring humanity up to the next level. I think we've been living in times where we've been just so shrouded in this, this belief that we are not divine beings, but we are. We have the power to manifest, we have the power to create, and we have the power to connect to each other and actually make a big difference. So it depends on us, like what Coach Ezekiel is saying, depends on us on what your intention is and where that intention is coming from. If you're coming from an insecure place, how do you think you're going to be affecting the people around you? Right? But when you are coming from a loving space, and I'm talking about, guys, I'm talking about real love here, right? Not the love of like, just putting up a bubble bath for yourself or whatever. I'm talking about real love, like finding who you are, seeing your light side and your dark side and accepting them both, embracing them both, and still seeing yourself as beautiful, still seeing yourself as divine. Because once you have that kind of understanding and compassion for yourself, it would be so much easier to give that to the next person.
True.
So that is where my hunger is really coming from. It's really just, it's time to elevate the humanity. It's time to elevate the human species. And my biggest investment is being in the present moment and seeing each moment as a learning opportunity. So even when I'm talking with someone and there's like this weird energy between us, I'm asking myself, what is this person teaching me about me? And then how can I share that lesson to someone else? Right? If I'm in a situation that's kind of really difficult and it feels like it's beating me up, right? I stop and I ask myself, okay, who am I? Who do I choose to be in this moment? And then I ask myself, what is this experience teaching me for my life as a whole and for the legacy that I want to leave and for the message that I want to send to the world? So that's it for me.
I love it. Fantabulous, Andrea. I love what you said.
I love the word.
Yeah, because may daya kasi ako eh. Every time I would be asked, what is the one word to describe or say something one word lang. So, dinaya ko. Fantabulous is fantastic and fabulous.
Love it.
That's why my word always is fantabulous, right? So may daya tayo. So yeah, but I love what you guys shared to everybody. And as you could see in the comment section, all of them are agreeing to all of you guys to what you have just shared. And I love this topic about insecurity, everything. Like when you're talking to somebody and suddenly you got angry with that someone for a reason that you cannot understand, it's time for you to assess yourself because it's just you projecting your hate towards that person because nakikita mo probably what's lacking in you through this person, parang naging mirror mo siya, di ba? So, I just want to acknowledge everybody who is watching us. Guys, I'm not sure if this is accurate pa. Sige, let me just refresh my browser, but allow me guys on your behalf to acknowledge and express our gratitude to everybody who's tuned in our show. Everything is energetic, everybody is on fire. Currently we have wait, wow, 986 comments. And my Sheila girl, can you let me know how many shares do we have currently? Can you share to me? Wow, 900. Oops, sorry. All right. That's my sound. Okay, and also I want to acknowledge our friends from the Thrive community of Lorus. Hello, Isis, my love, of course.
Hi, Isis.
That beautiful woman who made things possible for us, even this show, right? She really initiated this. So Leslie, hello to you. Leia Tinoco, my sister from another mother, hello to you once again. 354 shares on 1K comments.
You guys are the best. Thank you so much, everyone.
Amazing. You guys are amazing, the three of you. Thank you. And allow me at this very moment to also invite everybody who's watching us to please like and follow Laurus Enterprises. If you are enjoying, if you are learning, if you are liking everything that you are hearing from our guests or from this show tonight, I guarantee you, sabi nga nila, there's no guarantee in life, but there's one thing that I can guarantee with you guys is that once you start following Laurus Enterprises, you are going to receive or get similar values because Laurus Enterprises, we have done a lot of live events and we have done a lot of virtual events ever since this pandemic happened. We have interviewed 100 more people to provide or share the experiences and wisdom and insights to everyone. And it's all in our Facebook page. This page that you are watching us from now, Laurus Enterprises. We're also present currently streaming live in YouTube. We're also, you can follow us also in Instagram, LinkedIn, and of course, the latest, Laika, the fastest emerging social media app. Laurus Enterprises and these three amazing individuals that you're hearing now, they're also present in Laika. In a little while, I'll be sharing their handles to you so that you can follow them and learn directly from them. All right. So now I want us to go to another question. A while ago, we already talked about the challenges. I believe Bam and Andrea, you already shared some of your darkness, right? So, and we all can agree that in our journey to self-development, to self-growth, you would really stumble over and over again. Ibig sabihin, madadapa ka ng paulit-ulit. And sometimes it happens because maybe the lesson is not sticking yet. I love what Oprah said there, that failure happened. It's because it's the universe way of telling you that, hey, you're going the wrong way. That is not the way, okay? Stop now. Reassess your moves. So my question for you guys is that, can you share to us the biggest obstacle you overcame, as in the biggest of all, when you were in the process of self-growth or developing the person that you are right now? Let me start with Ezekiel.
Wow, that's a loaded question. It's like I can't
I feel
choose.
you, E. I feel
It's
you.
like I cannot choose one. There's like many.
Yes, I know it's hard, right?
Okay, so the most recent one would be in 2015. I was chief of technology of Mind Valley, and I was also running my own company at the same time on the side because I was an idiot that way. I was like, why not have two jobs at the same time? Why not try to help run two companies at the same time? I was in a relationship as well, and on the surface, everything was great, but to be quite frank, it wasn't really like that. I didn't really feel alive during that time because there's the illusion of success, like a lot of people talk about. It's not a new story. Everything looks great on the outside, but deep down, I know that every single promotion that I got, every single role that I came into, every single relationship that I was part of, was all not really my choice. It was put in front of me, and I just said yes to it. I didn't really think about it so much. And that thing piles up on you until everything is like, until you wake up one day and you're like, none of these things feel like they're correct, and they all start falling apart on you. So in that year, I hired a CTO to replace me because I was like, I'm not the best person to be doing this role anymore. And I didn't know what was my next thing. So that uncertainty was killing me. My business partner sued me out of our company. And I lost that. I lost like the case for that one. My girlfriend wanted to break up with me on a plane to Mexico, like 40 hours on a plane ride to Mexico. And we're still going to be spending time with each other for the next 14 days. But she already told me that she wanted to break up with me during that time period. And I was terribly sick, like internally. My internal organs were having problems, and I compensated by getting into street fights. And that was my thing in 2015. That's. But on the outside, everything looks like it's great, and
Yes.
that's where you start looking into the idea of, how stubborn do you have to be, and so that life smashes you so badly to the point where, are you going to give up now and start thinking for yourself all of a sudden? Because on the surface, everybody was wondering, like, what the hell happened to you? It's like everything was great. It's like everything looked great to you, but everything was shit to me. And I'm working in this company which spouses personal growth and fulfillment, and I was there. And that's why I'm telling everybody that, like, your internal struggles, it doesn't matter where you are. You could be in a palace, you could be a rich person, you could be surrounded by the happiest people in the world, but you could still be miserable inside if you're not careful. And the opposite is also true. And that's why you have these people who came from Auschwitz, like the Auschwitz camps during the Holocaust, who found a way to, like, keep themselves in a state of enlightenment and fulfillment despite all that chaos. And that was really the one of the, I guess, 6 really dark periods that I went through, wherein universe was kind of like telling you, you don't want to listen, huh? Let me smash the shit out of you repeatedly until you listen to me. So that was one. That was one out of 6.
Oh my gosh, and yet you struggle to remember one. And but what you have just shared to us was really painful. Like I could just literally imagine everything that you were saying, especially on the part that your girlfriend was trying to break up with you. My gosh.
Yeah. And the kicker to that, it was also during that this all happened in the span of 1 week. 1 week.
Wow.
And at the same time, that was the time where my parents absolutely hated me because I told them, because my parents had this dream. My parents also live in the Philippines, and it was their dream during that time when they said, "Oh, they want me to come home. I'm gonna get married. I'm gonna have kids. We're gonna be in this big property, and they're gonna be grandparents." And I told them, like, you know what? You guys should really stop tying your sense of happiness to my choices. Like, you guys have your own lives. Why don't you do that? And literally, like, it was like the biggest fight I had with my parents. They didn't talk to me for half a year. So all that happened in 1 week, and I had nobody to go to anymore. Because, like, my girlfriend wanted to break up with me, and my parents didn't want to talk with me. So you're left with nothing but yourself. And that's you find enlightenment in the shitstorm, in the eye of the shitstorm.
True.
Or you die, whichever one of the two.
Your choice at the end of the day, right?
Your choice. You got to figure it out. Which one are you going to choose? So that was 1 out of 6.
That's so nice. Thank you so much, Zik, for sharing that. And I'm sure some of our participants here totally relate with your story. But oh my gosh, ang sakit nun. Sabi nga ng isa dito, nakita ko sa comment, ouch! Ew, right? But I hope everything is okay now because you look so well. Okay, because a while ago you were saying, Zik, na everybody thinks that you're okay because on the surface you look okay, and this is a really good point to remember for our audience, right? Not everybody who seemed brave, who seemed okay, are really doing okay. So I think this is a good reminder for all of us that if you have some friends and they look so tough, every time you ask them, how are you? And their answer to is, okay, I'm good. Pero one-liner lang, hey, baka it's time for you to really ask that friend, do you want to talk? Just, catch up. Let them know that they're not alone, that whatever is happening, they will never be alone because they have somebody to connect with them, to support them in whatever that it is that's happening around them. So, Zik, going back, you're okay, right?
I mean,
I just want to make sure.
That was like 5-6 years ago. It better be okay, right? Yeah, but
nice.
it's and this is a bit more of a segue. So I think through that experience led me to developing my own method of how to understand yourself very well. So I went into the rabbit hole of why was I good at figuring out who people were, and then you go into psychology. I learned from people who are into like clinical psychology specifically. What are those methods? And then I started applying it to myself first, which is basically what I'm using now as a methodology, not just for. I have my own practice where in 2-3 days a week, it's like, okay, people who have identity problems and are freaking out. Okay, these 3 days, this is for you guys. Think of it as like my contribution practice period to people. But it's also where I learned that there's a limit to how much personal development can help you, because during in the eye of that storm, you have to hang on to something else that is way beyond what is just logical and rational. And that's where the other part of personal development, which people don't really like to talk about, which is how's your relationship with your own, like your spirituality, or like your faith, whatever it is that you believe in. Because it's when you're slammed down at the bottom, and that's when you start seeing what is actually the meaning of life beyond what is like your job and what you see every single day. So that's another rabbit hole that I ended up going into for the next 5 to 6 years. But yes, to answer your question, I'm doing fantastic.
And you are. You sound fantastic. You look fantastic. Everything is fantastic with you. I love that. And thank you so much for answering my question and for being so courageous and vulnerable at the same time. You know what? I just had a talk a while ago. I think this was 3 weeks ago. And I talked about personal development. And one of the things that I shared there are the signs that you actually need to prioritize personal growth. And you have just mentioned it, Zik, when you were doing a lot of things and things started piling up and you felt like, this is not me, this is not what I'm supposed to be doing, or this is not I'm supposed to, who am I at the end of the day, right? So once you start having those kind of questions for yourself, it's time really for you guys, our online audience. Maybe this is time for you to start looking at personal development, on investing on your own growth, not only on your finances, not only on your work, but really fill yourself, fill your cup with whatever is missing. If there's lack of love, and there's so many chaos going on, and sabi nga kanina ni Ezekiel, you are in the middle of this storm, it's time for you to really seek help, probably look for a friend who can help you. Okay, so
yeah. By the way, before I pass on the mic to somebody else, I have to throw it I have to throw it in this direction. It is not necessary to have to go through rock bottom to find yourself. It's not. Like you don't see athletes suddenly go from teenager level athletes to suddenly national athletes. No, it's a continuous, deliberate process of improvement. If you can dedicate yourself to regular improvement, you will minimize the chance of going into rock bottom. Because the truth is, if your life is like this is like happy moments and this is shit moments, as a general note, it should be going upwards. But not everybody survives the dip. Not everybody. That's why people commit suicide. That's why people kill themselves. That's why people go into chronic depression or whatever. And that's why, like make it a part of your life rather than wait for it to really go down the shithole, for lack of a better term. And get in touch with people like Andre and Bam to help you out. I mean, these are very accessible. I mean, dude, no, you first.
Kailangan dumaan dito muna.
You guys are right. You guys are very informative. And one of the reasons why I said yes to being part of this in the first place is because I'm not there. And it's actually very happy. I've traveled all over the world and I know the state of well-being in various countries, and knowing that there are people like the three of you there who are doing something back home is, for lack of a better term, it's very relieving for me because I'm not there. So thank you guys for doing that.
and thank you, Zik. I'm a great receiver, so I'm accepting it. Everything. Yes. All right. So I think, Andrea, same question. what would be the biggest hurdle or obstacle that you overcame?
Okay, so for me, um, it was getting over the voices, right? There was
Mhm.
so many voices in my head telling me I can't do it. I'm not good enough. I'm not beautiful enough. I'm not talented enough. I'm not smart enough. And it was really, you know, taking that time to build that relationship with myself.
Mhm.
And that's what the pandemic did for me because I was forced to stay in my apartment. You know, I couldn't go out and have coffee somewhere. I had to learn to be my own best friend. And
Mm.
there was a part of me that, you know, like hearing all of these voices and actually starting to believe them, um, I found a part of me that I didn't really like because I wasn't being true to who I was. And when I looked, it kind of felt like I didn't really know who I was, right? Because I keep hearing all of these voices, and these voices were different people, right? Usually, from the experience that I've had, there's a common theme. It's usually parents, society, bullies. Um, and when you start to listen to those voices, it becomes a habit to listen to them. And then when that habit starts to settle, it becomes a belief and a lifestyle. And that's really what I had to get over. It was rewiring my mind to go
Mhm.
back to the beliefs that actually empowered my strengths, empowered the beliefs that empowered my greatness. And, it's me realizing that I'm worth more than those voices. Those voices were not mine, and I can just remove them. Right. But this was a process. Here's the thing, Joanna, like what Zeke said, it's not an overnight thing. What you
True.
want to do is to make this a
Mhm.
lifestyle. And for you to make it a lifestyle, it has to be a habit first. You have to start making it a micro habit to stop talking to yourself negatively, to stop talking to yourself with doubt. Just believe that you can do it. Um, be driven by a vision for the life that you want to create, because your life is really your masterpiece, right? There's no
Correct.
one else who's going to make your life for you but you. So
Yes.
be driven by that dream, by that goal, and adapt new beliefs that would empower that so that your actions would just flow through you.
Yes.
Yeah.
I totally agree with that, Andrea. And yeah, thank you for reminding us. Make it a lifestyle.
Yeah.
Because I've actually talked to a lot of people because we're doing events, right? In relation to personal growth and professional development. And there will be some people that I would be inviting from time to time, and they're going and sometimes we go into this kind of talk like, oh, another event, pero the last time I attended, nothing happened. Because that's the reason, because the moment they attended one event, they were already expecting, people are already expecting that something huge are going to change in their lives. But what we're missing out is that, yeah, it's not an overnight success. Nobody is an overnight success. And I remember from the book Atomic Habits, I forgot who's the author of this book.
James Clear.
James Clear, yeah. What he said is that for you to build a habit, you can just aim for 1% every day. Imagine if you are just aiming for 1% growth in yourself on a daily basis. In 1 year, that would be 300 something percent. 367 ba? Tama ba yung years? Days ko?
365.
65.
365. Kasi may meron ako additional days. I have my different,
May leap
just
year.
365% change in 1 year. But you're taking it very slow, gradually. 1% a day, change something in whatever that you are doing, then definitely you can expect a lot of change within you in just 1 year. You can read Atomic Habits, guys. It's a nice book. So,
Yeah.
Bam, yes.
Yeah, well,
Yes,
for
Andrea,
me, very
sorry.
simple. Yeah, like 100%. I mean, very similar kay Coach Andrea, the voices. I think what I was processing as you asked that question was this: being able to find, being able to discern or hear God's voice or being's voice versus the voice of conditioning. What the world says you must be, what you should be, what you shouldn't be, what's bad, what's, I think that's for in my experience working, with people and myself as well, of course, it's being able to discern um, that I'll call it the true voice that does not have to keep proving its value and its worth to people. I know madaming nanonood dito, I have to keep proving my worth, proving my value, and it gets tiring. And that's why a lot of people are
Yes.
depressed. That's why a lot of people are burnt out. Because if I'm not making it in my company, if I'm not hitting my numbers, or as we say, you're only as good as your last sale, then what value do you have? So I think sort of like really restructuring, I guess, your whole outlook or belief about life, or my outlook and my belief about life. That was important. I always quote si Anthony De Mello on this. Sabi niya, like in India, one part of India, um, I don't know, back in the day, there were no transistor radios. Everyone was happy. And then the Westerners came and introduced yung radio, like a transistor radio. Some people binigyan, some people hindi binigyan. And then all of a sudden, the happy Indians became unhappy. And then they were introduced to this idea of unhappiness because of lack. I think for many of us, that's the world that we live in today. Seeing what's happening on social media, we're losing focus on what we can be grateful for. So many simple things, being alive, breathing, but instead we're comparing we're looking at what other people have. We're looking at how other people look. We're looking at where other people travel. We're looking,
Yes.
I mean, sobrang nakakapagod every single day. But to be able to say, like, after this, I can just sit still and do nothing and be happy. But to go
Yes.
even beyond happiness, to be joyful and to be grateful, instead of having to look for something externally. A lot of people watching this, you're waiting for that day when you give yourself permission to be happy. Nightbird said it best. I don't want to get into that, but like, you can be happy now, but so many of you are still giving conditions. For you to be happy, you have to achieve this thing or that. Nothing wrong with it, but iba sa inyo hindi naaabot eh. You don't make it anymore, and it's always about going after something that is in the future versus being able to choose to experience love, joy, kindness, and happiness and peace now. So yeah, for me, it's that it's being able to discern that voice that always tells you that there's nothing to prove, that there's nothing missing, that you don't need someone else to complete you. You don't need some title or some accomplishment to complete you. You're not here. Again, this is just my process. You're not here in the world to show that you have to prove something. So the proving is draining the life out of a lot of people. So that's why the struggle is there. So sa akin, ganun lang. Once you're hearing this voice, the voice is always there to support you, to guide you, and to to how can I say, to help you become just a better human being, and that is
Yes.
more than enough. So yeah, I hope that
Yes.
that answered the question.
Yes, you did. You did answer it. And thank you so much for that insight, Bam. Yeah, little voice, it can be your friend or it can be your enemy. So katulad lang din kanina, it's always your choice because we always have the power over our thoughts, di ba? From the Millionaire Mind Intensive, what Harv Eker always taught us is that the TFAR or the process of manifestation, your thoughts leads to your feelings, that leads to your action, that eventually give you the result that you need. So if you're not happy with the result, go back to the thoughts and then everything else would change. Yeah, ako din, I have a lot of little voice inside me. That's why even until now, I'm enrolled to different programs. I continue to invest in my own personal growth, even though I do events, I organize events, I attend and enroll to other people's event so that I could become a better person, a better version of myself. Yeah. Tsaka, I remember may nag-snap lang sa mind ko when you talk about yung being someone else, yung parang it's actually for me it's actually harder, and I think I've read this somewhere lang din eh. It's actually harder to chase to be someone else. But it's so much easier if you are going to chase what's within you. Discover what's the uniqueness in you, embrace it, love it for all its imperfection, and then eventually you will shine. right?
Yeah.
Can I challenge that?
Go.
Yeah, no, I was
Huh?
gonna. So I know. I was looking at Zeke. Just to be clear, before Zeke challenges, to be clear, I want to be clear because some people might say like I have nothing against ideals. Obviously, having ideals. Otherwise, we'd all be in chaos if we did not have values and ideals. So I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about people who are having, let's say, a negative experience with life because they are constantly in that space of comparing themselves and it's hurting them. So I think being able to discern that is important because I have ideals as well. Otherwise, I would have stayed exactly the same. I would have been in that space where I did not grow. So just to clarify, but I don't want to go to that rabbit hole also because mahaba na naman ang usapan
It's
yan.
another conversation. Baka it might need the whole day, Bam. All right, Zeke, you want to say something?
I was gonna go like okay, so number one is like if you look into behavioral psychology, one of the reasons why it's actually really hard to live like you and to do you. And the reason for that is because if you want to understand who you are, and this is one of the processes that I do on people when I do identity formation with people, is your biggest virtues or your biggest gifts in your life and your biggest motivations come from, some of it come from the darkest experiences that you've had. And a lot of those really dark experiences come from your experience as a kid, parental trauma, heartbreak, whatever. It can be something as simple as watching your parents fight about money in the dinner table when you were 7 years old, and then that translated to you having a subconscious hatred for like money is evil, and that's why you'll never be rich in your life. And being able to confront that is really, really hard because it forces people to go back and relive that moment and examine it and say, does this moment of my parents fighting, is it actually money that's the problem? Or is it just that they had a misunderstanding and I was an innocent bystander who's looking at it? But the idea of putting yourself back in that situation is really, really difficult and very painful. And that's why the process of self-discovery is really, really difficult to do by yourself without somebody who's guiding you in the process. But without going through self-discovery and facing that demon, you will never be able to overcome that and turn that into somebody who has a problem with money. In that sense, will be the biggest preacher of wealth and abundance. They're going to flip that around in the long run. And that's why in Jungian psychology, they always tell you that there's a reason why they always tell in stories that the treasure chest is inside the cave which has a dragon. It's always like that. If you don't go into the cave and deal with the dragon when you want to, the dragon might come out when you're sleeping or when you're unconscious, which is why you get triggered unconsciously when you are like with your friends and something happened and you get triggered and you don't know why that happened. But if you're the one who says, I'm going to go down that rabbit hole and confront that trauma and confront that dragon, then it's on your own terms. And that's why you'll have a chance of winning, or you might die, but at least you have a chance of winning. And if you get through that, then you achieve enlightenment, or rather you overcome that dangerous or that really dark part of you and make it part of you. And that's why I think it's harder to try to be yourself all the time, because it's much easier to just listen to what somebody else is telling you and let me just do that. And that's and for lack of a better term, that's why people like Bam and Andrea exist, to help guide you through that process, because it's hard.
It is.
And now it's time for me to rebut what you said. Okay, Ezekiel, I'm actually wondering why you keep on saying that you are not that coach yet, but you do everything. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Would you agree with me? We have a really good coach in the form of Ezekiel.
So I was just going to say to all the live viewers, watch this, because now we're going to go through what we call a coaching process between Zeke and Joanna. Go ahead, we'll all watch. I'll get the popcorn. I want to listen to Zeke. This
Where is
reminds
this
me of
belief coming from, Zeke?
No, this reminds me of Zeke, Tim Ferriss, and I forget this guy's name. This guy that he invited, and he was asked this question. I want to listen. Go ahead.
Suddenly it's between. No, no, no. I was just wondering, Zig, but because you are amazing
Yeah.
and you are
Yeah.
throwing so many wisdom bombs ever since we started, and you are a fantastic coach yourself. I definitely I say that with all my heart because that's what I'm really feeling and that's what I'm really getting from you with everything that you are sharing. Di ba, Bam and Andrea? So
Yeah.
guys, if you're looking for
I
another
feel it.
coach, it's not only Bam, it's not only Andrea. You've got another Ezekiel, or you've got another coach in
Yeah.
Ezekiel.
So,
Yeah.
Coach Andrea is going to appreciate this question. So, Z, when was it in your childhood that this event happened? That made you create this meaning? I'm just
When
kidding.
did you
We're all having
decide?
that made you decide. So, everyone, we're friends. I'm friends with Zeke. We're all having fun.
Okay.
No, man.
Actually,
This is
I was gonna go
Master
like,
Joanna.
guys, I think I'm gonna go now. I'm just gonna go.
No, because
a-
I feel like you might appreciate this. So, Master Joanna, if I can just take this to a little bit of a more spiritual journey now, not religious but spiritual. So, we've been talking about, how so many of us are comparing like what we have, what we're supposed to be, what we should be. We're all comparing it on all of these external things, right? The things that we have, the job that we have, the car, the relationships that we have. These are all masculine energies. And this is the thing. The world has been in an empowered masculine energy, and we've forgotten that we also have feminine energy. Everyone, boy, girl, whatever gender you identify with, we all have a masculine and a feminine energy within us. And we've been going down for thousands of years with this masculine energy, and we forgot to nurture this feminine side of us, right? And that's why it's what Ezekiel was saying. It's so hard to go inside because it's not a natural thing that we do. But actually, that was so natural even before, right? Before all of the societal things happened, all of the structure things happened, that was just something that we used to do. We would just be open, be vulnerable. And this is why I went into divine feminine coaching, because I feel like this divine feminine is what needs to be empowered. Not to say that we have to pull down the masculine, but we just have to empower the feminine as well, right? And the feminine energy is actually the energy that helps you nurture yourself. It helps you nurture your emotions. It helps you go inside and heal. That's what the feminine does. The feminine is the energy of unconditional love. Your unconditional love for yourself. Do you love yourself unconditionally? Are you important to yourself? Is the kind of person that you are matter to you as much as the things that you have?
Yes.
So these are the questions that we go into.
I was gonna
Go
go
ahead.
like, this is a very good rabbit hole to go into because I think this is a concept which is not very commonly talked about in Southeast Asia, specifically in terms of when it comes to personal development, because it's very common to talk about it from, say, Taoism, and then when you go into like Western developing world kind of personal development, there's a lot of this focus now on the feminine energy, but for a lot of people, they don't necessarily understand what that means. And I think one of the things that you mentioned just now is a way to describe it. And for people who don't know what divine feminine means inside a person, it's like you can pretend that inside your body there's two people. There's a person that pretend that you have to carry a boat from one side of the river to the other side of the river. So the masculine energy in you says, my shoulders are broad, and therefore I will carry this difficult and heavy boat in that clear direction. That is the objective, and this is the task, and this is like the struggle and making things happen. If you have just that, that's going to be a very miserable experience. Whereas the feminine energy is going to look at that and say, yeah, but let's take this path, which is because there's more roses here, there's flowers there, or let's put the boat here a little bit and sit down and like chill out a little bit, or oh,
Yeah.
there's a rock in my shoe. Let's take off that rock. You need both of those types of energies, and they're not the same, but they're equally important. And the whole world, including capitalism, even leadership of organizations, it's all about
Yes.
getting things done and assertiveness and aggression and whatever. And it is a very masculine oriented environment because organizational structures really do work that way. But we've pushed it a little bit too far.
Yeah.
That's
And it's
what we're
shifting
facing.
now. It's shifting now,
Shifting
Ezekiel,
now.
right?
Because the world is traumatized by that in the same way. Like,
Yeah.
I think we've pushed it a little bit too far. Let's swing it right back somewhere in the middle. But hey, knowing how the world is, it usually ping pongs in extreme. So
Yes.
I wonder what the world will look like when it swings too far in the other direction. So we shall see.
Yeah.
We shall see. We shall see. But you know, the
sure.
divine feminine energy is really coming, guys. So if you are not used to like talking about your feelings, talking about your emotions, connecting with people, if you're not used to that, it's coming. So might as well prepare yourself for it, right? Yeah.
Yes. All right. This is very interesting. I'm sure. Let me know in the comment section, guys. What are you getting from this conversation? Did you like how we roasted Ezekiel? No, just kidding.
We love you,
Queen.
Queen.
No, it was all Bam, not me. All right.
I just got the popcorn. Sorry.
We gotta talk about
You
this.
just got the popcorn.
When I visit the country, you're in for a world of hurt, you know? I'm just kidding.
I'm going to ask Isis if you are coming, saw that, I'll be out of town. I'll make sure. I don't want to be on your run, you know. All right. But you know what? I have friends. We have some friends watching us from Europe, from Singapore, also from Hong Kong. Hello, Marcy Jacille. Bev, hello, sis. I think I saw Nena Bell a while ago. Hello to everybody. Oh my gosh. Sige, i-refresh ko lang ulit. Sheila, can you please provide me the insights? How many shares and how many comments we have so far? I could see that we are 94,000 in views, active views. Wow. So, you guys are doing so fantastic. Maraming salamat po. Yes, please continue to share this live event to your own timeline, to your own feeds. If you are getting tons of value, make sure to share that to somebody else, because whatever that we are discussing here, this might be the message that your friend or somebody in your circle needs to hear. All right, so go ahead and share it. Feel free to share it. This event is live. It is created, it is brought to you by Laurus Enterprises in partnership with Laika, because we want to be part of your journey to your own self-growth. So at this point in time, Ezekiel, Bam, and Andrea, please allow me to remind our audience, especially our friends and followers inside Laika, regarding our first. We only have the first pa lang, ha. You wait kasi we have a second game that I will be announcing in a little while. But as a reminder for the first game, here are your mechanics to be considered. Okay? First, this is the most important. You have to follow these accounts inside Laika, not here, okay? But if you want to follow them here in Facebook or Instagram or other social media handles that they have, feel free, yes. Okay, so you have to follow inside Laika the following accounts. That would be at Laurus PH, okay? Coach Andrea, Ezekiel Vicente, Edward Santiago, or Bam Santiago 88 at Ezekiel Vicente, at Coach Andrea, and yours truly, Joanna_Marie_Lazaro. Please follow us and Laurus Enterprises in our Laika accounts. And then second, go to the page of, or go to the account of Laurus Enterprises and look for the poster with my top 3 takeaways from Connecting 101 Part 2. Go to the comment section and type in your top 3. I'm sure we are already 1 hour 14 minutes into the show. Okay, 1:45 into the show, okay? So I'm sure you already picked up more than 3. So go ahead and put them in the comment section. Late until tonight, 11:59. Okay, after 11:59, we won't consider your entry anymore. And on Friday, you just have to go to the account of Laurus again, and we will make the announcement of the 10 winners of 500 gems at 7 p.m. Monday. 500 gems is equivalent to 500 pesos. Okay? Remember the mechanics, guys, so that your entry can be considered. So now, I have another question. Although we already talked about this a little while, but in your own definition, how would you define personal development? And for our viewers right now, especially if the concept of personal growth or self growth or professional development is something new to them, what advice can you give to motivate them to include self growth as part of their top priorities? And not just yung, sige, I'll think about it, I might consider it, really incorporate it in their daily lives as much as possible. Maybe we'll start with Andrea because you're already nodding.
I was thinking, but okay, sure. So personal development to me is really about self-mastery. It's, understanding that you are on this earth to learn a particular lesson. So it's going through that curriculum that was set out specifically for your soul. And it's mastering yourself to go through that journey and to overcome any other things that might get in the way of you learning the lessons. So that could be the needs of your ego, the expectations that are put up on you. And why do you want to do this? If I can just invite you really quickly to just think about the end of your life, right? When you're really old and you're looking back at the years that you spent here on this earth, what is it that you want to say that you were able to do? What is the legacy that you're leaving behind? What is the message of your life? And see, is what you're doing now in line with that? Mm-hmm. Is what you're doing now an expression of who you truly are? Kasi sayang naman eh. Sayang if you're like on this earth and then you're hiding behind other people's expectations of you, and then we don't get to experience who you really are, right? For me, that is such, I'm getting a little bit emotional because I know that there are people who have lived their lives that way and have left us, right? And to me, the thought that someone is here on earth and not enjoying themselves, not sharing the gifts that only they can share, that sharing the stories that only they can tell, to me, that is such a waste. And so personal development really is that way for you to live your life to the fullest, to do the things that you really want to do, and to give the messages that only you can give, right? And someone asked here about how do you add more freedom to your life? It's through this. It's through personal development, because you will find that through personal development, you gain your independence, you gain your courage, you become a visionary for yourself and for the world. And because of that vision that you have, nothing else, like there's nothing else that would stop you from doing that. Nothing else is holding you back, and therefore you're free. So that to me is what personal development is about.
Yes. And you can end it, Andrea, with an I. Thank you.
And I.
Yeah, I agree with Lailani. Hi, sis. Sabi niya, it seems I'm watching a pageant. Q&A portion, Coach Andrea, Beauty and Brains with a Heart.
Oh,
and
wow. Thank you.
Yes, you're really beautiful, Andrea. And ang ganda ng projection mo on screen. Anong makeup mo, love? Joke lang.
Maybelline, Miss Joanna. That's just Maybelline.
Okay, let's move to Bam. What would be your take for that question?
So definition of personal development and why it's important for people to go through it. I think to simplify, I love things are simple. The purpose of life for me is to love, to grow, and to give. So I think that encapsulates the whole definition of personal development: to love, to grow, and to give. Why? Because I just, my experience, it just makes your life experience more meaningful. As Coach Andrea was getting emotional, I resonated a lot with that, Coach, because it's the same thing that touches my heart. Like the four of us having conversations like this, and people na nakikinig, enjoying, getting insights. I'm always thinking about, what about those people who are not here? What about those people at this very moment who are crying and praying and fighting with their spouse or their children, or wishing that they were not alive? That breaks my heart. That really breaks my heart. So that's the reason I'm doing what I'm doing. Why I can't stop my mouth from sharing and from popping in, doing audio and video, because I know I'm going to reach one person, and one person is going to hear that message of encouragement, and that one person's life may turn around. I don't know, but all I'm doing is I'm just sowing seeds. I'm just planting, but it's not my responsibility necessarily to make it grow. But I know what my role is, so I'm just going to keep on sowing, keep on planting, and hopefully, as I'm doing that, it'll touch one life. I mean, we're four of us. We're just one life, but somewhere in our journey, we were touched by someone else. It took at least the love and care of, could be a stranger, could be someone that we already knew, but someone cared enough to speak into our life and to help us get on this path of personal development. Definitely, it just makes more life meaningful. That's my answer, and I thank you without the makeup.
I thought you were going to share to us your brand of makeup also. But I love I'm waiting, Bam. I was waiting for that. Para tomorrow I'll switch.
um, Maybe Zeke can answer. Well, I don't know. Like, hindi kami makarelate. Whatever. Like,
Yeah.
powder.
It's okay.
Wala talaga. No brands. No makeup brands.
Yeah,
It's okay.
naturally beautiful. Sila,
Yeah.
Andrea, si Bam tsaka Ezekiel, they are naturally beautiful with a heart. Oh, parang
Yeah.
pampilya. Zeke, that question. How do you define?
Are we talking about grooming or what? What are we doing? This is effort, okay? So I take care of myself. So
Yeah, please share to us some of your secrets, okay? I'm
Skincare
sure
routines.
some of the audience here would love to know, especially men, because you really have a nice skin, Zig. But the question for you is, how do you define personal development? And what was the second question? Nga? Sorry. What advice can you give to motivate people so that they can include self-growth on top of their priorities, on top of the bills, on top of the education of the kids, on top of my boyfriend or girlfriend or my spouse? How can they include self-growth?
okay. I'm reading a comment here that my friend was like, dude, shut up. You're like a teacher for coaches. So don't. I'm just like, okay, whatever. This is one of my friends who's messaging me. Like, he's watching. Okay,
But
so
we're enjoying Zig. We're
Yeah.
enjoying everything that you are sharing.
yeah. Okay, so definition for me is that personal development is the deliberate process of bringing yourself from survival to insecurity and belonging to thriving in life, and then eventually transcending life when you're done with it.
Wow. Nice.
And
I'm
to
going back later on, team replay, and I'm going to capture everything that you have said, Ezekiel. So, from that to transcending, how can one incorporate it in their lives?
yeah, so I was like,
Yes, yes. Go ahead.
what I was referring to is like the deliberate effort to take yourself from a lower level of existence to a higher level means developing yourself so that you're not operating from, if you're from a survival level, then you got to work on yourself so that survival is not your problem. Then you become then your problem will be, okay, belonging and insecurity is now my problem. Then when you solve that problem, then your problem is like, then what do I do now? Then I work on thriving in the world in terms of expressing who I am. And then when you're done thriving in the world, how do you leave it behind better than when you were in it? The practice of moving yourself from one step to the next is the whole process of development in the first place.
Yes. You're
And
reminding me of the Maslow's hierarchy of.
it really is that. So that's why I didn't use the term, because maybe some people don't know that. It's your deliberate effort to move yourself from one step of the hierarchy to the next. And it doesn't matter what that effort is. I think there's a lot of there's something which people call as like the personal development industry, and there's the act of developing yourself. And the industry is a market in itself. It's like it's its own industry, it's its own economy. I'm referring to personal development as a concept. That's a mindset that you need to have, that I am committing to a life every day which brings me one step higher in the hierarchy of needs every single day. And that means dealing with my insecurities, dealing with my crap, dealing with the stuff that's keeping me from surviving every single day. And then eventually, if I'm lucky, from my deliberate effort and through, I don't know, if God's grace or whatever it is that you believe in, and through your consistent effort, you end up thriving and reaching the pinnacle of your potential. And then you leave the world better than when you entered it. I think that is the whole point of and definition of personal development and why you should do it.
Yes. I believe in the book of Seven Habits by Stephen Covey. He talked about the legacy. What do you want to leave behind?
Yeah.
Yes. In everything that you are doing right now, there would be a legacy. So it's really up to you to decide how you want people to really see you, right? Or how you want people to really value you, or what do you want to leave behind after everything. Yes, and thank you. Thank you so much, Ezekiel, for that. Thank you, Bam, and thank you, Andrea. So now I want to talk about Laika. Okay, so the reason is that because among the social media platforms in the Philippines, Facebook was the most used, and we all know that, especially here in our country, right? I'm not sure. Zik, you're in Malaysia, ba? Where are you based right now?
I mean, right now I'm in Malaysia. I don't know
Yes.
about next year. Let's see.
That's nice. The nomad life, right? So, yeah, here in the Philippines, the top social media app that people really use is Facebook. I'm not sure in Malaysia, but my question for you guys is that what convinced you to bring your contents to Laika? And at the same time, I'm going to incorporate this question coming from your own experiences. So this is your personal opinion, right? Um, how can one build and maintain credibility and remain authentic when they are sharing something in their social media app like Laika? Maybe we can start with Bam.
So yeah, for the first question, what got me into Leica was, well, I was told about the app. I downloaded it. I checked out what it was, and it was something new. So ako, like I'm always exploring new stuff where I can share my content. What I love about it is people who are here. I mean, ang dami nila. I'm sorry, I was not able to say hi to everyone here, but a lot of them, they're very engaging, and it's a great community there. So it actually, when I started posting there, I said, oh gosh, this community really, kahit bago ka pa lang, they really engage you. Plus, it doesn't hurt that you have this thing called gems that you can use, which I've been using, and I'm enjoying meals and and doing a little bit of shopping with it. So sabi ko, okay to, and post na ako, and then you can exchange. Yeah, you can, but not just receive, but you can also give to people. So yeah, that's why I found it interesting. I'm always open to trying out these new apps, and I'm enjoying the community there. Number two, about authenticity. Sa akin, very careful about this because, well, I do believe that I don't encourage, like, I'm so authentic. I'll post all the terrible things about my life, how crappy it is. all my struggles, lahat ng kaaway ko, ibabroadcast ko.
Oh my
I
God.
I don't I mean I don't encourage that. Um, because
Mm-mm.
we're saying like, why is everyone just posting great stuff? Well, imagine if everyone just posted crap and all the terrible things, So there's got to be, for lack of a better word, balance also. But I believe sharing authentically, well, for me, video always works, but sharing authentically what your journey is like and being realistic. And I keep sharing this in my content. Sabi ko, I think the problem with so many people, and Anthony Robbins has said this, is we think that we should not have any problems. Like that we have this idea that we should go through life and it should always be sunny and rosy. That we forget about winter. We forget about the storms. It's included in nature. Kasama yan eh. But many of us are having a difficult time being authentic because we think it should always be rosy and sunny and peachy when it's not. So sa
Mm-mm.
akin, to be able to share that, and recently I posted on social, I said like, I need help, pray for me, to show people that life won't always be like, the way you think it should be. And it's fine. You can ask for support. It's sobrang gasgas na gasgas na, they're saying it's okay not to be okay. Yeah. But what does that really mean? Some people are using that already as and I say this very sensitively, as a victim card. But I am saying that you can authentically share both sides of life where you are happy and there are times you feel numb. Diba, nararamdaman yan? Like sometimes you just don't know what you feel, and there are days you want to hit your head on the wall because you just feel terrible, whatever. I mean, to be able to understand what level of vulnerability you are comfortable to sharing and for what purpose. So I think what is it. But also don't forget humor. I think humor is also great. I think that's what engages a lot of people. Again, depending on the content, your personality, who you are. So that's what
Mm-mm.
I've got.
Amazing. Thank you so much for that, Bam. What about you, Andrea? Oh,
Okay,
you're on.
so
All right.
I joined Leica just about a month ago, and I was told about it. I looked through the app. See, 1 month and already 500 followers. Thank you guys, and I know some of you have followed me tonight as well. Um, what I found in Leica is that it's just a nice space of giving and receiving, right?
Mm-mm.
It's such a, I don't know. I feel like it kind of empowers this energy of yeah, it's okay to share. Actually, it
Mm-mm.
encourages you to share, right? It encourages you to share, and then also it gives you this feeling of like, wow, I'm also receiving as I'm sharing, and I love that.
Mm-mm.
I love that because I feel like that's needed more in this world. And on top of that, of course, is I'm always like Coach Bam. I'm always into new things, and I feel like this platform specifically has helped me reach an audience that is just willing to learn, an audience that's very open to new ideas, and an audience that's open to innovation. And so that's why I'm really enjoying the app right now. And with regards to the second question, when it comes to authenticity and building your credibility, for me, your authenticity makes you credible. If you're not pretending to be someone else, then that's already you being credible to who you are. Um,
Mm-mm.
your and I love what Coach Bam said, that it's not always roses, it's not always peaches, right? And
A
you
walk
just
in the
have
park.
to, sorry?
Yeah, a walk in the. Not every day is a walk
Yeah,
in the park.
yes, not everything is a walk in the park. And I don't know about you guys, but for me, the more vulnerable I am on social media, that the more I connect with people, right? And not in the vulnerable, like, oh, poor me kind of way, but like vulnerable as in like, this is the challenge that I'm going through, and this is what I'm doing about it. This is how I'm
Mm-mm.
overcoming it. And I love, when it comes to sharing on social media, I love the line um, where they say, the something along the lines of, the darkness that you go through and the light that you find becomes the becomes the light for someone else who might be going through the same thing. So when you're sharing on social media, be very mindful of what energy you're putting out into the world. What is the message that you are trying to send to the world? And remember that you have this immense power to make an impact. You don't even know who's watching your social media. So just, be very mindful of what you put on there.
Yes, totally agree. I love that. Now, what about you, Zik? What would be your take on this question? What made you move to Laika, or what made you become part of Laika? Because I know that you have a prominent following on your social media accounts. But what made you decide that you want to join Laika? And at the same time, based on your own opinion or based on your own experience, how can you maintain credibility and remain authentic while sharing your life or your insights on social media platform apps like Laika?
I was actually gonna go. I was looking at BAM and I was like, I don't have a large following. It's like because I don't put a lot of importance to social media for my own purposes. So the reason why I decided to like put stuff on Laika is because I was trying to figure out, like, Bob, remember this conversation where I was like thinking, okay, I mean, I'm not there. How can I at least put some stuff so that people back home can at least get something? Or at least I feel like I'm contributing something since I'm not there. And I saw that, Facebook is really noisy. There's a lot of, for lack of a better term, like there's a lot of trash when it comes to Facebook. And I just saw that, based on what I understood about the kind of audience in Laika, there's a lot more actual, real people who are interacting there. So I was more under the pretense of, hey, let's put here, if somebody reads some of these things, then great. If not, then it's not harming anybody. But the real point behind it was, hey, let's touch more Filipinos with messages like these, because I'm aware that the things that I post, they're not the kind of things that you will want, that will draw followers or likes or whatever, because the things that I post are the things that you wish your father told you, but they didn't. And not everybody's going to, they're going to read it, but they're not going to like it because, like, shit, I got triggered by that. Why am I going to like that message? And this was simple. This was my way to say, like, hey, it seems like people like this. People back home respect this platform, so let's put some on it. And if it benefits more people there rather than the noise of Facebook, then I guess my own objectives have been met already.
Yes. Yes. All right. And I believe that in everybody, we have our unique followers. There will be somebody who would need the kind of message that you are putting out there.
Yeah, my audience is usually my actual audience is not on social media. The audience that I have are like other coaches or other business people, and they're usually not in Instagram and they're not in Facebook. But I'm hoping that being on some activity on these platforms, at least it might build some awareness in people. Think of it as like, read it if you like, read it if you don't. And then with regards to the second question, when it comes to authenticity, I think the only thought that I have there is, if you really have to be on social media and you really want to be posting, I would use your social media habit as a way to practice and test how authentic you are being. It's like the more I use it, like I tell people, like people who I work with, okay, you want to practice being authentic? What was your thought this morning? That's what you post. Like, don't sugarcoat it. Don't do it, because it's a practice for you to talk about what you're really feeling to other people, and that's the hardest practice. So I think if people started looking at social media as a way to practice authenticity rather than trying to gain attention, I think it might be actually be very useful. That
Yeah.
is my opinion on it.
I see. All right. I actually have a question with regards to that, but it's okay. Yeah. Because now, no, I want to ask you, Zik, because you mentioned that, yeah, if you want to be authentic, what were your thoughts this morning? Then put it out. But what about having a balance between this thought of yours and then knowing whether is this message going to be helpful to somebody else, or is it just going to be something toxic for other people?
Yeah, because for me, I look at social media and platforms in the same way that I look at knowing how to use a gun or knowing martial arts.
Be responsible.
It's just a question of like, what are you gonna use it on? I think if I had to say something about social media, please be deliberate about why you're using it. Just have a reason
Yes.
why you're using it. If you don't have a reason for using it, then you're just adding to the trash of the world. Really,
Yes.
there's more than enough.
Exactly.
And if
Yes.
people get offended by that, then this is like what your dad should be telling you. If you're not purposeful about what you're doing, then you're just following everybody else. And I hope you understand that. That's a
Correct.
tough love from me, but I think that's how real it is.
Yes. At the end of the day, it's all about your intention and
Yeah,
being responsible about it, knowing,
yeah,
discerning within yourself. Why do you need it in the very first place? Do you really need it? Okay.
yeah,
Do you have to be in social media if all you do is, put trash? Sabi nga ni Ezekiel.
yeah.
Right? So
Yeah,
nice.
can I
I
say
love
some? Can I say
it.
something also? Yeah,
Sure,
no.
sure.
For those of you who want your, sorry for the word, but like for those of you who want your bullshit called out, follow Zeke, because he really says it as it
Yes,
is. I mean, he plays it very real. I'm
true.
just saying that's why I appreciate Zeke, and because madami na dito sa atin na sugarcoat. They have to think. I'm not against it, but I do love it when people are very raw and real because I think we lack that. I think we lack people. So this is something that I did today. Sabi ko, I made people write this down. You want people to like you more than you being very honest with them. So you would rather
Mm-mm.
have people like you than speak the truth to them. So for those who are watching, yeah, Coach Masa, it's painful. It's yeah, but it's real.
Tough
It's the
love.
truth.
Yeah.
So
Mm-mm.
would you rather be sugar coated and you be in that painful relationship, suffering with your health, not making it with your career and money, or but how long are you going to keep the game going? It's a game. It's a facade. It's not real. So and I'm affirming Zeke. You will need people like Zeke, Coach Andrea, to tell it as it is. But of course, hindi clear naman
Yes.
tayo. The intention is not to put you guys down. The intention is to be in your face and say it like someone who cares about you, not someone who's trying to kiss your, what, and make you like them. So yeah, that's my
Mm-mm.
plug for Zeke. So yeah,
Yes. Sometimes we really need tough love. Sabi nga nila, di ba, that it's a bitter pill to swallow, but sometimes you need it. It might be the cure that you're looking for, that bitter pill. And that bitter pill for you might be somebody like Ezekiel, who is going to tell you right in front of your face what are the things that you are doing that
Yeah,
is not contributing to your growth right now. Yeah, we
yeah.
all need that kind of person in our
Yeah.
lives.
My job for people is to hold them by the collar and say, "You see that cave over there with the dragon? Come, let's
Yes.
walk there.
Go.
Let's walk there right now. I'm gonna walk with you, but in the end, you're gonna have to go through it. But I'll walk with you."
True.
That's
Yes.
Yeah. I
I'll
love that.
be
I love that.
holding hands. Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
be holding hands with you together. Let's go there. Let's lay that dragon. Yes.
Yeah.
So now we have come to the part wherein this is the most exciting, guys, because we're now announcing our second gem game. Are you ready for this? This is 1,000 gems or equivalent to 1,000 pesos, says. I'm not sure, Ezekiel, if you know that kind of joke. When I was younger, my mom would tell me, I would ask her, penging baon or something, a money, I would ask, and then sasabihin niya sa akin, okay, here's your 10 peso, says. So,
I was like, I feel like that odd kid in the playground who's like, what is everybody talking about here?
So you have something to learn later. Okay, you can ask your Filipino friends. But now for our second gem game. And for everybody who is on Laika, this one is on. And if you're not, might be the reason for you to get inside Laika. Because our second ano ba, nabubulol ako, gem game is a video entry of yourself. But first, before you do a video entry, make sure, this is still part of the mechanics, all right? Make sure to follow these accounts on Laika, at Laurus PH, at Bam Santiago, at Ezekiel Vicente, at Coach Andrea, at Joanna Marie Joanna _ Marie _ Lazaro. Then the next thing you do now is you create a video of yourself. Okay? And this is what you are going to share or say in that video. Why is personal development important to you? And how can you create meaningful connections with your fellow Laicans? Again, it doesn't matter how long the video is, but the question should be, or it should revolve around, why is personal development important to you, and how can you create meaningful connections with your fellow Laicans? And in the caption or in the copy, please use hashtag LaikaConnect. Okay? Your video must be created and must be posted until 11:59 p.m. today, June 11. And all winners, total of 5 winners, receiving 1,000 gems each, will be announced at the Laika handle of Laurus PH on Monday, June 14 at 7 p.m. Okay? Take a screenshot of this mechanics, guys, so that later on, right after we finish this live event, you can create your own video. Why is personal development important to you? And how can you create meaningful connections with your fellow Laicans? Okay. All right. So in relation to the second gem games, Andrea, Bam, and Ezekiel, can you please inspire all of us? Why should we want to post valuable content in our Laika accounts or even in other social media handles we have like Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, even TikTok, okay, instead of posting random things? Maybe I can start with Ezekiel.
I actually don't know how to answer that question. Like, I genuinely don't know how to answer that question.
All right.
I love the authenticity, Ezekiel.
Yes, this is authenticity to you guys.
Yeah.
It's being
I-
honest. Okay.
I genuinely don't understand why you would, unless you actually like you really feel like it. I don't know. So I think I would like to defer this question to the others who actually know what they're doing there, because I know how social media works for business and how that can potentially help, but I cannot give somebody an honest recommendation on why they should do it, aside from keeping their loved ones informed on what's going on in their lives. I think that is the one that I can genuinely tell people. And which means if you're trying to inform in my case, I've been gone for so long. I've come back to the Philippines like every 2 to 3 years. And one of the main reasons why I might post something, and that's like to close friends, that's very authentic about what's going on, is because I want my family and my old friends back home to know that, guys, I'm alive and I'm alive and doing stuff, you know? So you get a picture of what's going on in my life. Otherwise, my mom would be worried sick. That's the only reason why I would really post stuff. So maybe Bam and Andrea have better answers.
Yeah, but I like how you answered it. Maybe that's the reason for you to bomb, to bomb, sorry, to post something on your social media accounts. It's to make the people around you updated of what's really happening
Yeah,
around you in your life.
which means you can't be fake about it.
Yes, yes. If that is the purpose, really, yes. You can just be authentic about it. If you really want to make your parents not worry about you, na ano ba pinagagagawa nitong anak ko. I'm not sure if you understand that, Ezekiel.
Yeah,
Did you?
I totally understood that, and that is a sentence I'm very very familiar with.
Okay, that's nice. All right, so I think we can have Bam regarding this question. Bam, how can you inspire us if there's something? Can you share something to us that would inspire everybody, including myself, on why should we want to post valuable content in our Leica accounts or even other social media handles instead of just posting random things?
Yeah, so here's the funny thing. I'm actually gonna give my answer based on what I heard kay Ezekiel. Although he said he didn't know how to answer it. I think, well, my opinion is I think it's because there's a lot of, like he mentioned, Karina, there's already a lot of trash that is being shared. There's already a lot of people tearing other people down, bashing people, bullying people. So why not be one of those people who inspires someone? And again, only if it is real and authentic to you. So wag mong pilitin sa sarili mo. If hindi ka naman ganon, you're pretending to
Mhm.
be, Mr. Positive online, but you're really an a-hole offline. It works for women as well, whatever terms you want to use there. But yeah, I mean, you can contribute definitely something that is uplifting in a space that is already perhaps dominated by hatred, being unkind, by greed, by cruelty. So you can give in that way. So that's my answer.
Yes, I love that. Thank you so much, Bam. And what about you, Master Andrea?
Okay, so for me, I have a little bit of a different opinion when it comes to social media. I love what Coach Ezekiel said about use it as a test, right? As a test of your authenticity. For me, I use it as a test of my courage, as a test of my willingness to show more of myself to other people. And what I found is that the more valuable your content is, you actually have that power to make someone feel like they're not alone.
Mm-hmm.
Social media is such a great way of meeting other people, of connecting with others from around the world. And if you are posting things that motivate, if you were intentional about being an inspiration online,
Mm-hmm.
it only takes that one post to save a person's life, right?
Yes.
But it could
Mm-mm.
also take one post to simply destroy it. And we've seen that with cyberbullying and all of that. So that's why it's important for you to be intentional with what you share and don't just be random with it, because like what Ezekiel said, right, it's like full of trash already. And same sentiments with Coach Bam. It depends. It really comes down to who you want to be. What is that presence that you want to offer online? And only do it if it's authentic to you. If it's something that you can speak credibly about because it's your experience, not someone else's, because it's
Mm-mm.
your learning and not someone else's, because it's your trigger. Some of you might have been triggered by the conversations here tonight, right? And it's okay. It's
Yes.
okay to be triggered. We all share those feelings. But what is it that you want to? But will you stop there? What is it?
Mm-hmm.
What is it? What is the learning that you want to share? Right? What is it that you're going to share that's going to make the world a better place? And for me, that's the power of social media.
Yeah. If you're
Mm-hmm.
just doing it for the likes and that's your primary reason, I'd really think twice about why you're there.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah, for
exactly.
sure.
Yeah, because right now it's apparent that that's the trend that's going on among many people that they're just gonna post something because they're waiting for a validation through the likes, through the follows, through the comments, right? So that's true, Ezekiel. And now we actually have one question here from our viewer in YouTube. Um, it's okay, guys, if you don't want to answer that. This is just an add-on question for you. And the question is, since tomorrow is Independence Day, how can you add more freedom to your life? Probably one freedom that you would want to have in your life. If you want to answer that, who wants to answer?
For me,
I'm not going first.
okay. Thanks, Coach Bam.
Good answer, Bob. That's the best answer. Do not go first. Okay. Yes, Andrea.
For me, it's the freedom to live your purpose. I feel like when you are clear about what you want your life to be about, I don't know if that made sense, but when you are clear about the meaning of your life, everything else will be a distraction if it doesn't fall in line with that.
Mm-mm.
Right. So to me, that's a really free way of living. And you get to that by connecting with your spirituality, connecting with who you are, and getting back to source, basically.
Getting back to the source. Yes, I love that. Okay, so now, Bam, are you ready, or Ezekiel?
Yeah. I have an answer. I have an answer. May na-formulate ako just as Coach Andre was finishing her sentence.
Yes.
I think for me, it's the freedom. Sorry, gosh, now I lost it. But it's the freedom from wanting to be liked by people. So it's the freedom from living your life trying to please people. I think that's one of the most important freedoms to have, because you're gonna realize like you don't exist to always have to check if other people are liking you or approving of you. It doesn't mean you're gonna be an a-hole or whatever other thing, but it just means that you are no longer a slave to checking if people are liking you all the time. So, and I think that's where a lot of people's insecurities remain anchored in their lives, because they never get free of that. It's constantly all throughout their lives checking. Like I won't be I'll be sensitive, but yeah, I'll end there. Just always checking if everyone is approving of me, and I think that's enslaving a lot of people.
Yes. You know what? That's something that I've learned, because before, I'm a slave of the people's approval. I always wanted to be approved. I always wanted to be liked. But then eventually I get rid of it because it's weighing me down. I'm not happy because I'm operating based on how people see me rather than how I see myself. It's like I'm looking at the value that people see in me rather than the value that I actually see inside myself. So yeah, so it's a really good freedom to have. And what about you, Zig? You have?
Can you repeat the question? So I want to make sure I'm answering it properly.
Yes. Her question, his or her question is, since tomorrow is Independence Day here in the Philippines, how can you add more freedom to your life?
Okay. I'll give two answers. Number one, tell somebody you like what you really like about them. And
I like that.
And then number two, if you have resentment or if you're holding on to resentment for somebody that you love or care about, like say family or whatever, go up to them and tell them like, hey, I've been holding this resentment because of
Yes.
thing that happened last time. Those two things will definitely free you up very quickly.
And I totally agree. That is really, really, really wonderful that you said that, Ezekiel. Ezekiel, go and tell somebody that you like them or you love them, if it's on that level, and
Yeah.
instead of holding into this grudge, na baka mamaya, you're the only one lang pala na ang sama-sama ng loob, di ba? Pero for the other person, it doesn't mean anything. Maybe it was just parang out of joke, pero ikaw pinikerry mo na yung sakit na yan or yung bigat na yan for the longest time. Right? Yeah. That's so nice.
I can't.
Yes, Bob.
I can't help but comment after that what Zeke shared. Everyone's gonna go on Bumble and like, I like you. I like you. I like you. And they're gonna start telling their coaches, it's just a joke. Sorry, I couldn't resist.
Don't forget
You know what,
that
dude?
I'm your partner.
I was like, it doesn't hurt anybody,
Yeah.
There you go.
so it's fine.
Yes.
It's
Spread more
fine.
There you
love.
go.
All right. So, let's go create that app. All right. I'll be your partner. So since it
Bambo.
was Yes, it was given to you by the universe through me, through the show. Let's partner up, create Bumble, and then the very first person that we're going to auction. Auction.
Auction.
Auction.
Okay, all the way from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia,
Yes.
on our first
Mr.
auction list.
Ezekiel. So all the girls in the house, okay, be ready because the highest bidder, sorry, Zig, you become
And he just walked out.
But don't worry, Zeke. We're going to partake something with you. All right?
I,
Just kidding.
I'm gonna hide behind Andrea here. Like, please, gorgeous woman, please protect me. You are the star of the show. I will run away in the background. Like, everybody look at her. And then I'm gonna go.
Yes, just go for Andrea. All right. Just kidding, Zeke. Girls, okay. We are just having fun here. But yes, you know what, Zeke? Maraming nagsasabi sa comment section, natutuwa sila sa'yo and they find you really gorgeous yata or handsome yata yun.
Yeah,
And
see?
people
Thank you.
are saying
Add to cart. Add to cart. Ano na?
I have friends messaging me, Zeke.
Add to
I have
cart.
friends. Can you
Zeke, add to
introduce
cart
me?
ka na, Ezekiel.
I was like, what is this?
Ginawa niyo na bang Lazada si Ezekiel? Ginawa niyong Shopee? Add
Wait,
to cart.
yung dating app mo ba parang Lazada, Shopee, naka-add to cart agad?
Well, that's a good idea. No? Instead of swiping add to cart, then
Yikes.
he just shows up. You're like, wow.
I'm trying to imagine that dating app that when you find somebody that you like and then you just add to cart that person. Wow, weird.
By the way,
That would be hilarious.
if you guys actually make a dating app or like an app for meeting people who are of a certain type of mindset, I would totally support that because it's really cool.
All right. Bang, this is it. Calling all techies out there. Bob and I are going to start creating this app. We need your support, guys. This is
Yeah, and
the first person to be auctioned, to be added to cart would be Ezekiel Vicente. And Andrea, you're welcome to join. There might be ang dami for sure, guys. No, just
yeah,
kidding, just kidding.
and it's easy, Joanna and Zeke and Coach Andre. It's easy to get on the app. All you have to do, if you want to be part of the new app we're all developing coming up, all you have to do is answer all the questions that Joanna asked us. If you get to answer that, you qualify. That's it. Video format, please.
So we get
And
automatic
send to Zeke.
notification
Send to
alert.
Zeke.
For Zeke's
I will review
approval.
them. I will review those answers, and if the
I
dad
told you,
in,
send to Zeke.
dad in me is not satisfied with the answer, it's a no, guys.
Exactly.
No.
Wait, okay. Other than the answers, you're going to qualify them. So it has to pass your standards, Zeke. Other than that, dapat ba may trainings, may certifications pa na pagdad? Of course, Bam, right? Highest quality yung hinahanap natin dito, hinahanapan natin. So dapat talaga matindi yung qualifications natin.
I feel like this is a
You know
pageant
what?
of sort.
Yeah. Grabe. Ang sakit na ng pangako kakatawa because I find this very hilarious. Pero, my gosh, I'm sure this app is going to be trending right away. Siguro yung download nito, Bam, no? Millions agad the moment na in-announce natin. Thank you so much, Zeke, for giving Bam and I a business. Thank you for your business.
I would be more than happy to serve on the board and help you out in the process. Just don't sell me, please. Don't do it. Just don't.
That's the caveat.
It's like not even my phone number. Don't do it. Just like have mercy. Let's not go there. Like let's not go there. which FYI, like jokes aside, I was gonna say one of the things that I miss and I appreciate about like missing also from being back home is is I love the lightheartedness that you guys are bringing into the picture of many things, and I miss that, and I appreciate that in all of you. It's like you're all profound. Like Joanna, I love how you've been moderating this. It's been a very easy thing to do, to sit here for more than 2 hours, and I'm loving it, and I appreciate all of you for that. And thanks for having me. So
Thank you so much for that, Zeke. Yes, actually, we have come to the last part of our conversation, and to be honest, guys, I don't want to end this yet because I'm really enjoying. I'm really picking up gems from the three of you. My gosh, ang dami kong babalikan mamaya sa team replay. I really want to listen once again and pick up once again. And you know what? Allow me. Humihingi na ako ng permission from you guys right now. Allow me to use some of the words that you shared to us tonight because they're really life-changing for me. You really gave me a lot of aha moments. So, yes. Biglang nawala ako, no? This is the last part of our conversation na, guys. So, for everybody watching us tonight, what would be your parting message to them? And if ever that they want to connect with you, since the Bumble ba? Pangalan ng app natin, Bum? Anyway.
Yeah, Bumble.
If ever that they want to follow you or connect with you, where can they, which account they can go to? Let's start with, of course, the hottest commodity in town right now, Mr. Ezekiel Vicente.
I was like, shit. I was hoping that you would like poke at Andrea or something.
That's just gonna say, Andrea.
It's all you, man. It's all you.
Add to cart ka na, Zeke.
Yes.
Sorry, I lost myself. Like, what was the question?
Yeah, what would be your parting message to everyone watching us, and where can they follow you?
Okay. I think parting message for me is I really hope that we don't have to do this kind of work anymore in the future. And what I mean by the kind of work is like the work that on personal development and guiding people through this process. Deep down, I wish that we don't have to do it. And the reason why I wish we don't have to do it is because in a world where we are not required, it means people live authentic, real, fulfilling lives as part of everyday life. Like the fact that we exist and the fact that personal development exists means something has gone off with how humans have lost the ability to learn, the ability to live like normal human beings. And that's why we exist. So everybody, please take care of yourselves and put us all out of a job in like the next couple of 100 years or so.
Yes.
That's what I would wish. Hopefully this profession doesn't need to exist anymore in the future.
Yes.
But don't do it right now because people need to make a living too. And then if
Not now, tomorrow. Okay.
No, do it tomorrow. Do it Independence Day. Free yourself tomorrow. And then I would, in terms of if people want to get in touch with me, I think the safest would be to follow me on Instagram because I post some things there, but mostly it's the messages that I'm posting on a daily basis for like to remind people of things. But I do reply to people within 24 hours if they send me a message through Instagram. So I might take some time, but if you really have a pressing question or you have a concern or whatever, yeah, you can shoot me a question there. I tend to answer every now and then, regardless of whatever that question is. Just don't. Never mind. Just the whole add to cart thing came to my mind. I said, just not that. Just not that. Yeah.
I think you have something that's going to haunt your mind for not only tonight, Zeke, for the rest of the week, probably. Yeah, the add to cart thing.
I feel like I just shot myself in the foot there. I was like, this is bad. Anyway. Okay.
But
So yeah,
yes, I love what you said there.
yeah,
Yeah, that is something to look forward to.
yeah,
A day wherein the whole world is healed. You know,
yeah,
everybody is doing better.
yeah.
Everybody has accepted themselves for who and what they are. That would really be beautiful. But not tonight. Do it tomorrow.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Do it tomorrow. It's late. It's a Friday night. Go do something fun and whatever. Like take the seriousness out of things for a while. Go do
Yeah.
something useful.
True. Yes, thank you so much for that, Zik. Yes, and also Zik once again is on Laika, so you can follow his account. That would be at Ezekiel Vicente. All right, so that's his handle inside Laika, guys. And I'm actually following you, Zik, and I keep on ano ba liking by kasi diba the like inside Laika nga is by giving gems. So I do give gems from time to time. Every time nagpa-pop yung content mo sa feed ko, sa home feed ko. Alright, what about you? Ihuli natin yung beauty queen natin for tonight. What about you, Bam? Your last message for everybody and where can they follow you?
Yeah. Yeah, well, again, thank you to everyone who watched tonight, who supported, who said hi. You can follow me on Leica, of course. I think my IG is connected there somehow. Or just send me a message there, then I'll connect with you. Um, Last message is, if you're watching this, and this is the main essence of the work that I do, and you're going through a challenge or a struggle, don't think that you're the only one struggling. It's okay to go through the struggle. Get support. It's probably most probably, I'm pretty sure it's a lifelong process. So also to be kind to yourself, not to beat yourself up, knowing that it's a lifelong process for you. It's not like a one time big time event that happens and you're through with all your challenges and problems. They progress. Hopefully you are progressing too as a human being. So get in touch with any of us to support you in your life journey. So that's it. God bless you. Thank you for watching.
Yes. Don't ever think that you're doing it or you're undergoing something alone. I love that, Bam. Thank you so much. And our Miss Universe for tonight, Master Andrea.
Okay, so first of all, I'd like to say thank you, Joanna, for such a wonderful show. I'd also like to thank all of the viewers who are supporting us tonight. Man, you guys are on fire in the comment section. You're amazing. And thank you also, Coach Ezekiel and Coach Bam, for sharing your time and your energy. I learned so much from you guys too. And my final message to anyone who's watching this, whether live or on the replay, is I really hope that my biggest wish is just for everyone to enjoy their lives, right? So like what Coach Bam said, that's one of my biggest advocacies is really you are not alone. You might be feeling some shame, you might be feeling some guilt. You are not alone in that. And we are here to help you go through it. We are here to help you love yourselves more. We are here to help you love your lives more. And don't be afraid to connect with yourself. Don't be afraid to start connecting with other people. We need other people, you guys. No man can live by themselves without the energy of other people. So don't be afraid to connect, create a dream, create a vision for your life, and create a vision for the world because you are part of that world. You are part of the universe. And when you heal yourself, you're healing the universe. When you are loving yourself, you are loving the universe. So
Yes.
take ownership of that. Take ownership of that space that you have here on this earth because you matter. And yeah, and I love you. If you want to get in touch, probably the safest one, like Coach E, is my Instagram. It's Coach Andrea Alvarado, but I'm also on Laika, so let's connect there. So thanks, everyone.
Yes, and that's her Leica account, guys. Go ahead and follow her so that you can get a lot of beauty queen insights from Coach Andrea. And I love what you said, and that it's true. We're all connected. Everything and anything, it's just one big connection. That's why we're doing connecting one-on-one, so that we'll be able to build meaningful connections with everybody around us, whether it's online or in real life. So maraming salamat sa inyong tatlo. Before I acknowledge the three of you guys, allow me to just invite our viewers once again to follow the following people and account inside Laika. That would be Lorus PH, at Bam Santiago 88, at Ezekiel Vicente, at Coach Andrea, at Joanna underscore Marie underscore Lazaro. And I'm so happy to also inform you that my business partners here in Lorus Enterprises are also inside Laika, and you are going to learn a lot from them as well. So go ahead and please follow Jerome underscore San, Angie T. San, and Jev underscore Aurelio. And once again, maraming salamat to the three of you, Ezekiel, Bam, and Andrea. You guys are so fantabulous. Amazing. All these insights that you have given us. In all honesty, prior to our start, I was so nervous because nga, my mind was telling me you are going to talk or interview three amazing individuals who have done a lot or who has proven a lot in their lives. So I was kind of intimidated, if just being honest here. But every time when we started, and it was just flowing. And I love the energy that you brought to this whole live event. And thank you so much for sharing your wisdom to us, Bam, Ezekiel, and Andrea. Maraming salamat for not holding back, for being so generous with your experiences, with all the values that you have given us, with everything that you have shared. Basically, you guys are amazing, and you guys are big blessings to the community of Lorus Enterprises and to the whole world. So I really wish you the best in your endeavors, and may you all always have prosperity and abundance of health, wealth, and happiness as you continue in your journey right now. Also, allow me to now acknowledge our Laika team, the people behind Laika who made Connecting 101 possible. They actually do not want to be named. They requested me not to, but they are watching. They are supporting us from beginning until this very moment. And to you guys, we are so grateful to you. Your Lorus Enterprises family is so grateful to you for giving us this huge opportunity, really coming from my heart to yours. Please accept my full gratitude, kasi you could have chosen another group to do this, but you gave this opportunity to Lorus Enterprises, and for that, we are extremely grateful, and that is on behalf of the entire Lorus Enterprises. Thank you, Laika team. All right. Of course, I want to also acknowledge Lorus team, the people supporting us behind, making sure that everything is going to work out well, making sure that we are going to have the show. Yeah. To my Loris family, to my Loris team, Jerome, Angie, Jev, Sheila, and Bo, and Chris, and Jovi, and Wayne. Maraming salamat, guys, for your hard work. We really appreciate you, and we are sending you love. Maraming salamat sa inyo, Loris family. Of course, I also want to acknowledge everybody in the Loris community. I saw a lot of familiar names or familiar regulars of the shows of Loris Enterprises. Thank you so much for being with us tonight and for being so active in the comment section, for engaging with us, for giving us your energy. And everybody who is on this show right now, whether you are new to the Loris community or you are new to the Facebook Live events of Loris Enterprises, I welcome you, and I just want to tell you that you are so appreciated. Maraming salamat. Hindi po magiging ganito ka-successful ang buong event na to if not because of you. And Bam, Ezekiel, and Andrea, I'm so happy to let you know that 5 minutes ago, this show that we are doing right now has 492 shares, and 1,700 plus comments. And kanina, a while ago, we have more than 100,000 active viewers in the show. And for that, fantabulous talaga. Maraming salamat sa inyo, our online audience. And we invite you to please continue to follow Laura's Enterprises. We have upcoming virtual events this June. We have Harness Your Strength. We have Discovery Teens. We have OFCON Virtual. We have the World Class Filipino Summit. We have the Mind Valley as well. Yeah, and we have this coming Sunday, via Zoom naman po, offliners. So if you're a business person or you are a freelancer, this event is for you. And we invite you. This is another free event. So go ahead and follow us, and we will journey with you throughout your success. And we will make sure that we are going to support you every step of the way. We will be your support system. So once again, maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat for staying with us until this very last moment of our show. To our Facebook community, to our Laika family, thank you very much, guys. You made us feel so loved. And I love you for that as well. I'm sending you my gratitude and everything that I have right now, this overwhelming feeling of happiness that I have. I'm sending it back to you so that you can live your life with immense joy and abundance coming from the universe. So goodbye for now, and we will see you in the next Connecting 101.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Andrea.
everyone. See you guys.
Thanks, Joanna.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Joanna.
Heart, big heart. All the kind.
You're like a circle that floats around me, keeping me safe and sound. And when I fall, you tied a rope to me. You're blessing me every day. I was down with an illusion, like a sparrow with broken wings. But now I shine with your reflection on me. I'm getting back up on my feet.